beautiful Miller Park on a Monday night, and we are set for baseball here. It's the Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers. Prince Fielder, his son Jaden, like many Prince, taking a new route into the ballpark tonight. Might as well change things up after the Brewers were swept by the Chicago Cubs. Prince even taking a little fungo at third base. The Brewers will try to wake the bats up as they welcome in Pittsburgh. It begins a 3-game series here tonight. And hi, everybody, and welcome from Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. We're looking forward to this matchup. The Brewers try to get things turned around. Ken Maka said it was a mirror image from the Pittsburgh series last week to the Cubs series that ended yesterday. Some good, some bad, for sure.
It's just one of those things. I mean, baseball is a funny game. I mean, sometimes you go out there and all of a sudden things just click for you. Look at what they did against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We've been talking about it all week. It was an amazing performance, both at the plate and on the mound. But the Chicago series, they say good pitching will neutralize good hitting. But in Pittsburgh, it was amazing. You can take batting practice for 2 hours, an entire team, and not find holes and get base hits like the Brewers are able to do. On Wednesday night, everybody in the starting lineup got one base hit. On Thursday afternoon, every spot in the order, including Randy Wolf, with at least 2 base hits. It was an incredible thing back in Pittsburgh.
And a record-setting day, and now the Pirates are back, and it's a matchup of aces and a rematch from last week. Zach Duke, their opening day starter, and Giovanni Gallardo. We'll talk about the pitching matchup when we continue. Big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by the Miller Lite aluminum pint, 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste. Homestand continues tonight. They make their way across the Hank Aaron Bridge into Miller Park. It is the first game of a 3-game series with the Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. What a great day for a tailgate today. Wow, the sun is out. 65-degree afternoon in Milwaukee, and the parking lots were full. Concourses are full. Having lots of fun with the racing sausages. We're looking forward to getting this one started here. First pitch just coming up in a moment. But, Rock, let's first talk about the starting pitching matchup today, because it's Giovanni Gallardo and Zach Duke. Both of these pitchers were the opening day starter for their clubs, and now it's a rematch between these two.
And Giovanni really had struggled in his first 3 starts. He really didn't have the fastball command that we remember for Giovanni last year, but he certainly had that. You can check out the location of his pitches, and The other pitch has kind of eluded him so far this year. His changeup, he started to make strides in throwing that changeup. He threw it a little bit more. His curveball was the big, good strikeout curveball. He struck out 10 batters, the Pittsburgh Pirates, in 5 innings. So hopefully Giovanni is going to be able to move that changeup more into his repertoire. And Zach Duke, you talk about a guy that was on fire coming into that start against the Brewers at PNC Park. This guy was unbeaten and had only given up 1 home run all season long in his first 3 starts. But what happened against the Brewers was he just didn't have too good a command. He left a lot of pitches up in the zone. He gave up 3 home runs.
So round 2 between Duke and Gallardo. And how do you shake off a tough series you put a smile on? It's a brand new day. The Brewers and the Pirates. Game 1 coming up next. Outdoors, it's still a little bit cool. It's going to be in the 50s tonight in Milwaukee. Otherwise, a great day. And we are ready for baseball tonight as Gallardo gets his warm-ups in. The Pirates batting order that he will face brought to you by Subway. It's Andrew McCutchen, Andy LaRoche, who's been terrific on the road this year, and then Ryan Church in the 3-hole. Middle of the order for John Russell is Garrett Jones, Ryan Doman, and Jeff Clement. And the bottom 3, Aki Iwamura. Zach Duke, the pitcher, bats 8th for the Pirates, and Ronnie Cedeno, the shortstop.
Now the numbers for Giovanni Gallardo on the season, making his 5th start here tonight. Last time, Matt, as we talked about, a win at the Pirates, 5 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts for Gallardo. Back-to-back starts against the same team. We'll see how that affects Giovanni here tonight.
Well, Gallardo, his last time against Pittsburgh, he faced 20 batters and he struck out 10 of them. And he opens with a strike to Andrew McCutchen. Away we go at Miller Park. Great to have you with us tonight. Big sports night in Milwaukee with the Bucks in action tonight, the NBA playoffs. And good crowd is gathered here. There's the home plate umpire, Tim Welke. He'll call the balls and strikes. He's also the crew chief. Sam Holbrook, DJ Rayburn, and Mike DeMuro on the bases. Gallardo against Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen was batting second during the Brewers series with Pittsburgh last time through. And now in the leadoff spot for John Russell. This is a club that is coming off a sweep at the hands of the Brewers. Then they went on the road and got swept by the Houston Astros. So they have lost 6 straight after they swept the Cincinnati Reds. It's been a 3-series run of sweeps.
Yeah, and that's why John Russell has decided to shake up his lineup, try to mix it up a little bit, find a combination that might work.
Slow roller out to Escobar. He's got to hurry. The throw is in time, and a good play to get us started tonight. As Andrew McCutchen is retired. Let's give you the rest of that defense. You've seen Escobar. The outfield tonight is Braun, Gomez, and Hart. Around the horn, it's Casey McGee, Alcides Escobar, Ricky Weeks, and Prince Fielder. And a battery of Greg Zaun and Giovanni Gallardo. Prince Fielder starting his 204th consecutive game, which is the most among active players, has the longest consecutive games played streak going. Here's Andy LaRoche. A rock for Prince Fielder. It seems like he has kind of battled through an injury that has his offensive numbers down, but he had a hand injury. It's always tough for a batter, a hitter, to deal with a hand injury, but he continued to play. Yeah, a little bit of a bone bruise on his top hand when he was up there at the plate, but certainly those things go away over time. You get those things once in a while when you get jammed, and Prince got jammed 2 or 3 times in Pittsburgh in one game. It swells up a little bit, but it goes away. Prince took a very good batting practice today. So back-to-back days of live batting practice on the field. Prince was out for 4 days from live BP. And a good sign for Ken Maka. LaRoche bounces one over to McGee, and he bobbles. And that's going to be an error on Casey McGee. Now, defense has been an issue for the Brewers on this homestand. That just doesn't get any easier than this. This is a 2-hopper right at Casey at third base. Just loses it in the transition, and that'll be an E5. Yeah. Defense for the Brewers outstanding. First 10 days, but since this time it's been a little shaky. 6 errors for the Brewers on this homestand, including a 3-error game in the opener against Cubs. It had been the best part of the Brewers in the early going. Brewers are getting a lot of offense, and their defense was much improved, something that Ken Maka and staff addressed this offseason. But an early error has LaRoche at first for Ryan Church. Well, another thing to watch tonight, the efficiency of Giovanni Gallardo. Gallardo, as we mentioned, struck out 10 batters, but managed just 5 innings. He could have gone out for a 6th, but he was right around the 100 pitch plateau. And Ken Maka, with the Brewers holding a big lead at the time, didn't want to run his ace back out there. Yeah, only 103 pitches in that start against the Pirates. It was a comfortable lead. Here's Ricky Weeks, and his only play is first. A good play at that. And Church is retired. You take every opportunity that you can to maybe shorten a game for Gallardo from time to time, because as the season drags on, they're going to want to extend him in games, and it might be a good move when you consider a short start yesterday by Dave Bush. The bullpen used quite a bit, so you might ask Giovanni to pitch a little bit longer tonight. The numbers on Gallardo's start Wednesday against Pirates. Giovanni picking up his first win of the season to go along with 2 losses. He had a great curveball going in Pittsburgh. Here's Garrett Jones now with a runner at second. Inning should be over. And boy, we're having some trouble here. What's going on with Zaun? Greg Zaun can't throw the baseball back to the mound. That's the second time that he's missed Gallardo on a throw back to the mound. The first one rolled over to Escobar on the third base side of second base, and check this one out. Not even close. Wow. Remember Mackie Sasser?
I do. Let's not start with that yet.
He had a similar problem. He couldn't throw the ball back to the mound. And it's one thing when nobody's aboard, but with a man on base, these infielders are going to have to back him up. Maybe Tim Welke bumped his elbow or something. This will be and he just did it again. Zahn cannot throw the baseball to the mound. He's got the yips.
I tell you, you get that stuff in your head, you start thinking about it, and all of a sudden you just don't remember how to throw the baseball. That's the third time now, and this is something that I have never seen. Yeah, you read about this stuff, Mackie Sasser, as you talked about, but I've never actually seen it in person.
Steve Sachs had an issue with it. I remember Chuck Knobloch did with the New York Yankees.
Yep, throwing to first base.
Couldn't throw the ball to first base.
Now, what do you do if you're Andy LaRoche? You take off and steal third, right?
Probably get gunned down.
That's right.
Those are the kind of throws he can make. Right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see here. All right, let's watch this throw. I mean, look at Zahn. Oh, man. Poor guy.
Yeah. He does such a nice job defensively. It's been a tough start for Zahn at the plate.
Well, 3 balls, no strikes on Jones. And he walks him on 4 straight. A base open at first. Jones is their best power hitter. So Jones is aboard. First and second now, and here's Doman.
That's pretty good fastball just off the outside corner. Zahn tried to make it look good, but nothing doing.
Well, 2 outs with 2 on. Here's Doman. Also a home run threat, but he has just 1 long ball this year. Doman with a couple of hits in that 3-game series through Pittsburgh. He spent a good part of the season last year on the disabled list. Got wrist surgery early. There's a strike from Gallardo. 1-1.
Yeah, when he's healthy, he's a pretty good switch hitter from both sides of the plate. Unusual to have both of your catchers, Ryan Doman and Jason Jaramillo, both switch hitters.
Doman is the everyday catcher. Jaramillo, the Racine native, gets a shot usually day games after night games. We'll see if he appears in the series. Fielder knocks it down. He's got time, and he'll go to the bag for the out. So Gallardo pitches around the air, and Greg Zahn's throwing troubles. And a scoreless first inning. Good play by Prince. Here come the Brewers to bat against Zach Duke. coming up for the first time against Zach Duke as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Monday Night Baseball on WMLW. The Subway lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers. It's Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun. Fielder is the lone lefty in the lineup, and he has good numbers against Zach Duke in his career. He's followed by McGee and Hart. Bottom three, Zahn, Escobar, and Gallardo.
Now the numbers for Zach Duke very good until his last start against the Brewers in Pittsburgh. He was 2-0. In his first 3 starts, he'd only allowed 5 earned runs. Against the Brewers, he allowed 6. So a rough start for Zach Duke. He got some pitches up, and the Brewers took advantage of it.
Ricky Weeks ready to lead off. And he shoots one over to first. Jeff Clement will beat him to the bag. 1 pitch and 1 out for Zach Duke. Well, defensively for the Pirates behind Duke, Ryan Church, Andrew McCutchen, and Garrett Jones in the outfield. Andy LaRoche, Ronnie Cedeno, Aki Iwamura, and Jeff Clement around the horn. A battery of Ryan Domet and Zach Duke. That is the Pirates' Blaines Farm and Fleet defense. Ken Maka, a Pittsburgh native, always has a bunch of friends and family watching when the Brewers match up against the Pirates. Not only did the Brewers sweep the Pirates last week, but Milwaukee has a long streak going against Pittsburgh at Miller Park. They've won 21 consecutive games.
It's amazing, isn't it? An incredible stretch. Almost unheard of. You win that many games, and a lot of them pretty close here at Miller Park, but Brewers have been able to figure out ways to win games late.
Well, Carlos Gomez figures to get a lot of playing time this week against the Pirates. Pittsburgh at this point has 2 left-handed starters on the slate. They have not announced a starter for tomorrow as of yet. But Duke is on the mound for this first game. Paul Mahalem will pitch on Wednesday. So the Brewers are going to see 2 of the top hurlers in Pittsburgh this year as Gomez slices one to right center. That's down for a base hit. A risky play out there by Garrett Jones, but he snags it on a hop. And Gomez with a 1-out single in the first.
Yep, Duke got in on him just a little bit, but Gomez able to fight it off. You said it. A very risky play out there in right field. If that ball gets by him, it might go to the wall. Able to grab it on the short hop. Kept it in front of him. Interesting matchup out there right now. Gomez, loves to run, but Zach Duke with a very good move to first base.
Gomez has not been caught stealing yet. He is 6 for 6 in that category. And we'll see how anxious he is to run with Zach Duke on the mound tonight. Ryan Braun is the batter. Braun comes in batting .366. He was hitless yesterday in that 12-2 Cubs victory. Braun was 0 for 3. He was also hit by a pitch. Still tied for the National League lead in RBIs. He and Matt Kemp have driven in 20.
And Ryan continues to hammer left-handed pitching this year. Going line to line against lefties and righties, and he just dialed in.
Has a .417 batting average against Zach Duke, 5 for 12 in his career. That includes 2 home runs against his left-hander. Ryan Braun currently 4th in the National League in batting at .366. His 5 home runs in the top 10 as well. You can find Braun's name across most of the major statistics offensively as he flies to right. And Garrett Jones will haul it in for out number 2.
I love that damage by Ryan Braun during a time when Prince wasn't swinging the bat all that well. And National League still respects Prince quite a bit, even when he's really not on a hot streak. They continued to pitch to Ryan Braun during Prince's struggles. Number of times where they could have walked Ryan, they didn't.
So Prince bats with 2 outs. Gomez still at first base. Now the philosophy changes a little bit with Fielder at the plate as opposed to Ryan Braun, and especially with 2 outs.
Yeah, you might want to steal a base here. You know, left-handers from time to time will take away some of the power of Prince Fielder. He normally, when he does hit home runs, it's to the opposite field, but you can see Gomez just hasn't been able to figure out the move from Zach Duke.
Prince has been a notorious slow starter in his career, at least over the last 4 seasons. He's looking forward to some warmer weather and the month of May, and that will occur later this week. Might as well have a strong finish to April this week. I think Fielder's in pretty good spirits now that his hand is healed up. That's what's so impressive about Fielder. He has such a good sense of where he is, and he knows he needs to be in that lineup every day. Believe me, for Prince Fielder to miss batting practice 3 straight days, that's a sentence all in its own.
And he understands that he's going to go through some times when not swinging the bat, and as he's matured, as he's been around a lot longer, he doesn't panic in times when he's not feeling that good at the plate.
Big swing and a miss by Fielder.
I've never seen Carlos Gomez stay at first base this long. You just cannot get a read on Zach Duke. So what do? A lot of times just go on first move. Make him make 2 throws to throw you out.
And Fielder strikes out. So Zach Duke pitches around a 1-out single. But the Brewers cannot score. We head to the 2nd at Miller Park. And Giovanni Gallardo on the mound, a shutout inning in the first. He did pitch around an error. Andy LaRoche reaching on an E5 by Casey McGee. Gallardo stranding a pair of base runners in the first, and he'll face Jeff Clement to start the second. It's been a struggle for Clement this year. He has just 8 hits all season, 2 of those against Milwaukee. This is a player that the Pirates acquired from the Seattle Mariners, a former first-round draft pick. He's been playing first base for the Pirates. Came up as a decorated catcher in that Seattle system, but just didn't pan out. at the big league level. Brock, this player was drafted in 05. He was 2 picks ahead of Ryan Braun in the 05 draft.
Yeah. He's got some pop in his bat. Pirates like him. I mean, if you're going to be a power hitter, you've got to be a left-handed hitter. Speaking of Clemens.
All he's missing is a K. Maybe Gallardo can give him one here.
I bet he likes Bratz. But if you're going to hit home runs, hit him to right. So that's why the Pirates have a number of left-handed power hitters. It is Death Valley in left.
Well, Clement was a first-round draft pick. He was the 3rd pick overall in 05. And that was that draft that Ryan Braun was in. Braun went 5th overall that year. Troy Tulowitzki was in that draft. Ryan Zimmerman. And you hear a lot about those stories, guys who've made it and have had a lot of success. Clement is the other side of that. And as Gallardo strikes him out, there's his K. First strikeout for Gallardo. Well, we had a chance to visit with Greg Zahn earlier. We asked him about the young Giovanni Gallardo.
The guy's been pitching extremely well. It's always been, 1 or 2 pitches a game, in the first few starts that undid him. And, he was able to stay very consistent after a long first inning in Pittsburgh. I really like what I've seen from him all year.
Greg Zahn on Giovanni Gallardo. And the 24-year-old pitching his way into ace status and coming off his best performance of the year his last time out.
His first 3 starts, they all were a battle because he really wasn't able to command his fastball like we remember last couple of years, but very tough to string hits together against Gallardo, particularly for the Pirates. One pitch that we haven't seen a whole lot of consistency with Gallardo so far has been the changeup. The fastball and the curveball have been pretty good his last 2 starts.
2 balls and a strike on Aki Iwamura. 2-2. Iwamura demoted out of the leadoff spot. Andrew McCutchen hits leadoff for the first time this season tonight, although McCutchen was in that spot a great deal last year. Now it's Iwamura who hits in front of the pitcher, who bats 8th in this Pirates lineup. That is underneath the glove of McGee and into left field for a base hit.
Yeah, curveball has stayed up in the strike zone. Sometimes if you try and throw that curveball too hard, it just spins out of your hand and hangs up there. Up and away, and Iwamura does a nice job waiting back on it and just slapping it by Casey. Good piece of hitting by Iwamura.
First hit allowed by Gallardo. And a base runner with 1 out for Zach Duke. Duke does have a hit this year. He's 1 for 6. And he bunts. Fielder makes the play to second, and they just get the out at second base. Fielder with no hesitation took a shot at Iwamura, who's been slowed by knee surgery. And Prince, knowing that, fired a strike over to Escobar for the second out.
Yeah, Prince did that yesterday in the ball game, and the Brewers ended up getting a double play. Randy Wells up there to bunt. Prince got on it quickly, and they turned 2. Aggressive play by Prince.
2 gone now, and here's Cedeno. Ronnie Cedeno has been one of the more productive Pirate hitters, hitting 9th in this National League lineup.
Yeah, he started out really hot, but he's cooled off a little bit. Guy that very rarely walks, which is not what you would want out of what you would consider to be your second leadoff hitter. You'd like to have some on-base percentage, and right now, Cedeno at 283.
Cedeno was acquired by the Pirates from the Mariners. He came over with Jeff Clement in that Jack Wilson trade. Jack Wilson liked Seattle so much, he signed a new deal with Jack Zarenzit and the Mariners. Mariners are off to a bit of a slow start. They're 9-10 to begin the year. And Gallardo strikes it out. Went back to the fastball. Picks up his second strikeout. Gallardo has surrendered 1 hit and 2 scoreless innings on the board.
Visit the Brewers official online shop at Brewers.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics. Get your gear straight from the source, the Brewers.com shop.
Casey McGee ready to hit as we head to the bottom of the second inning. No score, the Brewers and the Pirates. Final 3 games of this homestand. Brewers are headed west on Wednesday. After the matinee against Pittsburgh, the Brewers will fly to San Diego, and they'll open a 4-game series with the Padres on Thursday. San Diego, Los Angeles, and Arizona on the next road trip. Casey had the day off yesterday. McGee had knee surgery this offseason, and he had played in every game. Ken Maka wanted to give him a day off. That's something that they'll keep an eye on, McGee's mobility and his maintenance schedule as he comes back from a knee surgery.
That, and he wanted to give Craig Counsell some at-bats. Counsell with a couple of doubles in yesterday's ball game. Got to keep Craig sharp. You got to keep him, give him some at-bats so he stays productive off the bench.
And you're getting a glimpse into the psychosis of a manager. He tells Casey McGee he wants to get him some rest. He tells Craig Counsell, I got to get your bat in the lineup today. As Casey McGee draws a walk. Powerball home run leaderboard. Ryan Braun still at the top. McGee is right behind him. Ricky Weeks has 3 this year from the leadoff spot. And Corey Hart with 2, and here comes Corey Hart. Hart with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. Hart had a hit yesterday. He bunted for a single against Randy Wells. He was on twice. He also lined out in a series that the Brewers would just as soon forget. 3-game sweep at the hands of their division rivals, the Cubs. And home plate umpire Tim Welke says Hart went. So no balls and 2 strikes. laid off a fastball.
Yeah, Zach Duke so far this year, except for that last start against the Brewers, has had such good pinpoint control with all of his pitches. You know, the slider, the changeup, that sinking fastball that he keeps off the outside corner.
Here's the 1-2, and Hart takes a ball. Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, I talked to Dale Swain before his last start against the Brewers, and he said he watched video of just about every one of his pitches in the first 3 games that he started, did not make a mistake. He made plenty of them against the Brewers. And when he's on, he's tough.
Now, Duke was an all-star last year for the first time. He replaced Matt Cain on the National League All-Star team. Hart into right center. This won't carry. McCutchen is under it, and it's out number 1. Duke is from Texas. He's from the Waco area. Pittsburgh's opening day starter. He came up through their system. He's the minor league pitcher of the year for the Pirates back in 04. The next year he made his major league debut, and he actually made his major league debut against the Brewers. Had a 9 strikeout game and a loss to Milwaukee in 05. That was his first day in the big leagues.
He got off to a great start to his professional career. Tremendous record. Came up about 2 months into the season and really set it on fire. The Pirates thought they had something. Hasn't been able to replicate that.
Now Duke, in his first full season in the big leagues, made 34 starts. He had over 200 innings, and he was a 10-game winner for a really bad team in Pittsburgh in 06. He led the National League in losses last year. He was 11-16. But his name comes up every year at the trade deadline as teams try to get into that Pirates roster, and Pittsburgh has been very active the last couple of seasons, trading away their players to try to bolster their minor league system. But Duke has been the guy for John Russell that has been the untouchable. So he remains as the Pirate ace, and he walks Greg Zaun. 2 walks in the inning for Zach Duke. The Brewers have 2 men aboard for Alcides Escobar.
And coming in, Zach Duke had 10 walks, only 8 strikeouts in 24 innings. Just misses that one off the inside corner. Now, you talked about Zach Duke leading the league in losses last year, but his earned run average was 4.06. He certainly didn't deserve all those losses. That's pretty good pitching.
Well, a ball club that lost 99 games, those losses have to be distributed somewhere. The Pirates were 62-99. They avoided the century mark for losses and finished last in the standings in the Central. Here's Escobar now with 2 men aboard, just 1 out. Alcides batting .274 for the season. Got a chance to be a run producer here. Here comes Joe Kerrigan, the Pirate pitching coach. Might have spotted something.
A lot of breaking balls from Zach Duke. He started Escobar with a curveball, and you're talking about a guy that has such good command of his fastball. When he's on, he gets a lot of ground ball outs. Got some sink on it. He will cut the fastball. Maybe telling him, don't go away from that fastball. You're throwing an awful lot of off-speed pitches.
Well, I'm not sure they keep stats for this, but between the Brewers and the Pirates, they have to lead the league in trips to the mound with Rick Peterson and Joe Kerrigan. And there is the fastball. It's in there for a strike on Escobar.
Sometimes you get breaking ball happy, particularly after you made a start against one team. You want to change your pattern up just a little bit. Made a lot of mistakes with his fastball last time, maybe going away from it a little bit too much this time.
Couple of walks in the inning, McGee and Zaun. Brewers are not fast on the base paths right now. Escobar is very fast. You like to see him put one in the gap or down the line. Let him run. Ball and 2 strikes on the Brewer rookie shortstop. Lines one foul just over our camera position over there. Man, Woody. Everybody okay?
Woody's quick.
How's Kenny Rogers down there doing? There he is, the gambler. He's seen a few line drives in his days. And Duke strikes him out. So he goes back with a fastball. And that is out number 2. And now the pitcher Gallardo will bat. So a big out for Zach Duke.
Well, Zach Duke started out Escobar with a curveball. He got down in the count. Pitch coach went out, reminded him about his fastball, and got him with the fastball finally on pitch number 5, up and out of the strike zone. There it is. Higher than high over the plate.
Giovanni Gallardo still looking for his first hit of the year. He is 0 for 8 to start the season. One of his 4 career home runs came against the Pirates. And Gallardo bangs one into the gap. That's going to get down, and it's going to roll to the wall. McGee will score. Here comes Zahn. He's chugging around third. Cedeno's throw, and Zahn is safe at home.
Wow. Boy, the ball was there in plenty of time. Tim Welke standing right there looking at it. And it did look as though Zahn got his foot in there. Doman not very aggressive with the tag. There's a case where you got to block the plate. And he didn't. And it cost him a run. Had the ball in plenty of time, but allowed Zahn to get the home plate. Check it out. Why do you stand behind home plate? I have no idea. And he is safe. That's a great call. Look at the umpire. He's right there. I have no idea why you stand behind home plate. Never, ever do that as a catcher. You got to block it off. He's safe. That's a good call.
That is a great call from the crew chief, Tim Welke.
And Ryan Doman has nobody to blame but himself. He's jumping up and down, but it's his fault that run scored. You got to block the plate. Why stand behind home plate? That makes no sense.
You got to tip your hat to Tim Welke. He put his nose right in on that play. And there's a lot going on. The throws coming in, the runner coming down the line, a possible collision. Zahn steals a run from Zach Duke and the Pirates. It's a 2 RBI double for Giovanni Gallardo.
Well, if Doman is where he's supposed to be, there probably would have been a collision, but no need. If you're Greg Zahn, why not? I mean, you can see the entire plate. You only run the catcher over when he doesn't give you any view of home plate.
And Gallardo banging one in the gap. It's actually cut off on the track by Church, and 2 good relays to the plate.
That is a terrible job by Ryan Doman.
Now, Doman is a guy who has been on the disabled list just about every year in his career. Lost significant time last year. Took the throw on the wrong side of the plate, and the Brewers benefit. And now Duke is behind Ricky Weeks. 2 balls, no strikes.
How many times has Greg Zahn been run over already this year blocking home plate? You take that stuff for granted. You really do when you have a guy out there that's willing to give it up, give up his body to prevent a run.
First hit for Gallardo this year, and his first RBIs.
And you said there wasn't good speed on the bases.
Did that change?
No.
There's a strike.
You're right on.
Just because you don't have good speed doesn't mean you can't make a great slide.
That's right.
And you know what? There is some skill to that slide. He didn't give himself up. He went in, toe down. He caught the front corner of that plate. I mean, there are a lot of guys who would swipe or maybe attempt to run over the catcher. He's automatically out at that point, because unless he knocks the ball loose.
Right.
But he saw the opening, he saw the plate, and he went for it. As Weeks strikes out, and the inning is over. Zach Duke picks up his third strikeout, but a crafty slide by a crafty veteran. Zahn swipes a run from the Pirates, and it's 2-0 Crew. Off the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. Back at
Finally,
the talent's in the truck. Greg Zahn, Giovanni Gallardo. Gallardo with the 2 RBI double thanks to a timely slide from Greg Zahn and a poor blocking of the plate by Ryan Doman. 2-0 Brewers as we head to the third. And back to the top of the Pirates order, Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen grounded out his first time up. Back in the leadoff spot for the first time this year. And a pop-up. Gomez is coming in. And he's got it for the first out. All right, Rock, how about our carsoup.com email the booth question? You can get interactive with us this year on the air. Go to carsoup.com. Jeremy from Lannon wants to know, can a runner steal if the catcher overthrows the pitcher after a pitch?
Absolutely. The ball's in play. You can do anything you want. The only time you cannot take off if the umpire has the baseball and he's throwing it back to the pitcher. The ball's dead at that point. Unless the umpire calls timeout, you can run whenever you want.
I remember that happening to Mackey Sasser when he was going through his yips problem, throwing the ball back to the mound. Zahn had 3 tosses back to the mound that were not even close, but he seems to have rectified it. He is he's exorcised the demon that was in there. But I remember Sasser rolled one back to the mound one time, and I can't remember who the runner at first was, but he took off, and he basically stole second base.
Yeah. He used to stand up, take about 3 steps in front of home plate, and then kind of like double pump, pump and 3 times and aim it back. Well, you get that stuff in your head, and it's impossible to get rid of.
What was interesting is Sasser could make a perfect throw to second base on a steal attempt as LaRoche bangs one into left for a base hit.
Hey, how hot is Andy LaRoche? Coming into this game, he had hits in his last 5 times up. 4 for 4 in yesterday's ball game, all singles. Reese on an error in the first and a base hit to left. Here in the third, he's swinging a hot bat, but all singles. This is a guy that I thought that the Pirates were counting on power. And kind of surprising to see him in that number 2 spot.
More of an on-base percentage singles hitter at this point. Last time the Brewers were in Pittsburgh last week, he did not play. He had a bout of back spasms that had him out of the lineup.
Nothing wrong with that back right now.
Here's Ryan Church. Church now in the 3-hole in this Pirates order. Church was hitting 5th when the Brewers saw the Pirates last, and he didn't play all that much. Matter of fact, he didn't play the first 2 games. The Brewers saw him in that 20-0 victory last Thursday. The only start he made, he was 1 for 4. Little roller out to Prince. That is a fair ball. Fielders only played his first base. Church is 0 for 2 tonight.
Tonight through Wednesday against the Pirates, all tickets are $30 plus small Pepsi products and Clements hot dogs are just $1 each. These seats include Loge outfield, terrace box, terrace reserve, field bleachers, Lowe's bleachers, and Bernie's terrace. It excludes all exclusive areas and the euchre seats. All $30 tickets and less are half price. Spring madness, you know.
It's nice. It is springtime. It actually felt like springtime today in Milwaukee. Unlike yesterday, which had a touch of October, a touch of winter feel.
Yeah. Cold and wet. A lot of wind. That's the way it's supposed to be this time of year.
Garrett Jones with 2 outs. 2-0 Brewers on a Gallardo double. Plated both runs.
Still hasn't been a rain out in baseball. There was a rain shortened game yesterday in Atlanta.
Mets and Braves, right? And that was in New York.
That was in Atlanta.
Mets and Braves? Mike Pelfrey?
Nope, you're right. It was in New York. They only were able to get 5 innings in, and the Mets won 1-0.
That's a nice win.
Yeah, right.
5 innings
in New York.
Jones adds to Zaun's day.
So officially no rainouts or snowouts or weather outs in baseball.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Not here because there's a beautiful roof up above. Managers love the roof. Fans love the roof, but managers really love the roof. It allows them to set their pitching. They don't run the risk of losing a starting pitcher or having rain and having to worry about bullpen.
Broadcasters love the roof.
Yes.
No rain out, no rain delays, and things like that. You always know when you wake up in Milwaukee that you're going to have a game and it's going to be on time. Everybody loves the roof.
What's not to love about it? And then when it opens up, it feels like outdoors. The retractable roof. Well, Jones walks for the second time. So Gallardo has 2 walks, but on both occasions, Gallardo pitching to Garrett Jones with a base open at first.
Boy, not missing by much. Good eye by Garrett Jones. The only problem with that is you got another guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. You don't want to be putting men on base and risk giving up a home run.
So 2 aboard. Ryan Dohm at the batter. And a good block by Zahn to keep the runners at bay. Domet bounced out his first time up. He was flirting with an extra base hit that would have produced at least one run, maybe two. Pulled one down the line. Fielder made a nice play to knock it down and then took it himself to the bag to end the inning. And 2 balls, no strikes on Domet. Well, pitch count and pitch efficiency, the story with Gallardo this season, the emphasis. He's about ready to deal pitch number 50 as we play with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. There's strike 1. 2-1 on Domet.
That fastball command was dead on in that last start in Pittsburgh. He's been struggling with it just a bit, particularly the fastball away. This one right down the middle, but right at the knees.
Slaps it down the line and a foul ball just missed. Domet again flirting with extra bases. That one didn't miss by much.
Boy, an inch or two maybe. Good angle right here. Mike DeMuro, the third base umpire. Good look at it. Bingo. Wow. 2 inches.
Isn't that the difference between one day to the next? Remember Ryan Theriot?
Yeah.
Down the line. Looked like a foul ball yesterday. Called fair. Sometimes you get the breaks. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're the bug. Sometimes you're the windshield. And Domet over to Fielder again. Another nice pickup. He'll go to the bag, and the inning is over. So it ends just like the first. A 3 unassisted ground out, and 2 Buccos left on board. Ryan Braun will hit when we come back. The Brewers lead the Pirates 2-0. Against Giovanni Gallardo, a matchup of opening day starters here at Miller Park. Prince Fielder has been busy on 2 occasions. 3 unassisted groundouts to end innings. Meanwhile, Giovanni Gallardo doing it at the plate as well. Had a double in the 2nd. And a Greg Zahn slide to the front of the plate. A 2-run double for Gallardo. He has done it all so far tonight. Has 3 zeros on the board against the Pirates. And now the Brewers coming up with Carlos Gomez, Ryan Braun, and Prince Fielder. By the way, Rock, your postponed rain games Your great stat as Gomez drops a bunt down. Duke's throw is in time. Man, what a play by Zach Duke.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. Fields his position very well, handles the bat, bounces off that mound and makes a nice play to get Gomez, who's flying down that line. Amazing play by Zach Duke. Got him by half a step.
So Gomez is out on the 1-3. That was a terrific play by Duke.
That's still a good play by Gomez. You like to see him bunt. At least try and bunt for a base hit once a night.
And here's Braun with one away. Well, against Zach Duke last week, Ryan Braun belted a home run against the left-hander.
They saw the location of that pitch out over the plate, up in the strike zone, and every time Duke made a mistake, the Brewers made him pay. Surrendered 3 home runs after allowing only 1 home run total in his first 3 starts.
Braun's home run came in the first inning. It put the Brewers on the board and extended his hitting streak at the time to 9 games. Braun had a 3-hit day that day against the Pirates, part of an 8-0 shutout behind Giovanni Gallardo. So yeah, the Dodgers and the Mets postponed due to rain.
Yeah.
So there goes the streak.
So much for that.
Some would say that you jinxed that.
It was fun while it lasted.
Braun lines one to center field. That's a base hit.
Off-speed pitch up in the zone. And Ryan able to wait back on a 2-1 pitch. Bang it into center field. Look at the extension for Braun. I think it was a changeup, 81 miles an hour. Waits back and down and through a line drive into center field.
Base runner for Fielder now. Carlos Gomez was at first in the first inning and had a tough time getting a read on Duke, and never even attempted a steal the rest of that first inning. We'll see if Braun has any better luck. The Brewers' success rate this year is off the charts. Milwaukee has 14 steals this season, only 1 caught. And Braun has 4 of those. He's 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Fielder bangs one into right, a base hit. So back-to-back hits by Braun and Fielder. And the Brewers have 2 men aboard with 1 out in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, the big man waiting back nicely on that curveball that time. Duke to him a couple of good breaking pitches his first time up. Check it out. Watch Prince wait back. A slider on the outer half of the plate. Prince able to hook it out of the reach of Iwamura and into right field. So something cooking here for the Brewers.
The Fielder came in with good numbers against Zach Duke. Now his 10th hit in 31 at-bats. 2 men on for Casey McGee. He walked and scored his last time up. McGee's on-base percentage at .400. Not just getting his hits, and he already has 22 hits. This just the 19th game of the year for the Brew Crew, but also walking a number of times.
Hey, he's off to a terrific start, and a lot of his base hits have come to the right side of second base, and with power. 3 of his 4 home runs have come to right field.
His only home run to left was the walk-off home run against St. Louis a couple of Sundays ago. I think more than any other hitter in the Brewers lineup, McGee was the guy that needed to get off to a fast start. After a terrific rookie season, there were questions, can he repeat? Would there be a sophomore slump? But after he struggled this spring, when the regular season began, he was swinging the bat well, and I think that has lifted a burden not only off McGee but his manager as well, and he's comfortable with Casey in that 5-hole.
The last thing Maka needed to do was have somewhat of a platoon over there at third base when you talk about McGee and Counsell, because when you do that, you weaken your bench considerably. You'd love to be able to use Craig Counsell anytime you want late in the game coming off the bench. When you have him starting, it limits your options.
Don't remember in the opening series, Casey McGee was batting 6th. It was Jim Edmonds who hit 5th in the 2 games against the right-handed starters. So even though McGee had a great year last year and he was a terrific 5-hole hitter behind Fielder, he wasn't at the point yet in his career that Maka felt comfortable with him in that spot. But he changed all that with a fast start. Our AT&T trivia tonight, Rock. Which team holds the record for the largest run differential over another in a 3-game series? Remember, the Brewers outscored the Pirates 36-1 in that 3-game series in Pittsburgh last week.
That's got to be up there, if not the top.
Off the end of the bat. Going to be a tough play. Here comes Iwamura. He shovels, and it's in time for the out. A little shovel to first. Iwamura gets McGee. Both Braun and Fielder advance.
Now, you knew that was going to be a tough play for Iwamura because he's not moving around all that well. He really isn't at 100%. Seems to be, limping around the infield between innings and making a nice shovel pass right out of the glove over to first base.
Here comes Joe Kerrigan again. Visit number 2 in the first 3 innings.
Well, they want to decide whether they want to pitch to Corey Hart. Remember, Greg Zahn is hitless as a right-handed hitter.
Well, Duke has never won here in Milwaukee. 0-5, and the Pirates have not won when he's been on the mound. As good as he's been against the rest of the league, Milwaukee's been a tough spot for him. Last year in August, Duke gave up 7 runs in 3 innings against the Brewers. So does Duke pitch to Corey Hart or take his chances with Greg Zahn?
Well, maybe try to get Corey to swing out of the strike zone and get himself out. I have no idea why they would pitch to Corey, when, as we talked about, Greg Zahn has not come up with a base hit as a right-handed hitter. All of his hits are left-handed.
Two balls, no strikes to Hart. And Duke throws him a 2-0 curveball, so pretty good indication that Duke is going to pitch around Hart.
Why not just walk it? Why risk making a mistake? I never understood that. Why not just walk him? Why throw 3 pitches? And you bounce one of those curveballs and Ryan Braun walks to home plate.
That's a good point.
Doesn't make any sense. You agree with the philosophy of pitching around Corey and going after Zahn, but not that way.
Well, and one of the reasons why Russell would rather face Greg Zahn. Zahn is hitless as a right-handed batter, as Rock mentioned. He is 0 for 16. Has 8 hits as a left-handed hitter this year. Bases are loaded. 2 hits and a walk.
You know what all that means? He's due. Now's a good time.
Zahn scored the second run in the second on the Gallardo double. There's a big curveball that missed upstairs, maybe a little outside.
There's that big looping curveball, probably missed outside, maybe going around home plate.
Zahn has been primarily a backup catcher the last few years. And last year combined had fewer than 50 at-bats as a right-handed hitter. So when he played, he typically was in there as a left-handed hitter. He's in a spot here to produce some runs. The 2-1, and Zahn sends one down the line. That ball's well hit, and Greg Zahn bangs one fair off the wall. Braun scores, fielder right behind him. Here comes Corey Hart. He'll score. And it's a 3 RBI double for Greg Zahn.
Yes, indeed. He was due, and he came through in a big way. A curveball. He waited back. He was out in front. But he kept the hands back. Tucked it inside that left field line and cleared the bases. Fair by about 3 feet. And a big 2-out double for Greg Zahn. Good for him.
5-0 Brewers. A big hit by Zahn. His first of the year as a right-handed batter, and it produces 3 tallies. And now Escobar. His 3rd double of the year for Zahn. He's been on twice now. And Escobar sends one to right. Zahn will hold around 3rd. And a good idea. Pretty strong throw from Garrett Jones. So Escobar comes up with a single. And the Brewers are doing some damage here in this 3rd inning.
Yeah, Escobar picking on the first pitch. Remember his first time up. Zach Duke started him with a curveball. This time a fastball. He doesn't let it go, and he bangs it into right field.
I think with most other pitchers coming to the plate, Brad Fisher might send Greg Zahn just to take a shot at it with 2 outs. But Gallardo is a little different story.
Yeah. That and the fact that I think Zahn would have been out by 15 feet.
And that.
Maybe more.
Zahn was basically out by 5 feet his last time around the base pads. But a crafty slide to the front of the plate and poor positioning by Ryan Dolan. He stole the second run.
But I think you're right. The fact that Gallardo's up there, you have more of a tendency to hold Zahn with 2 outs.
I guess there's always that decision a third base coach has to make, and all these decisions have to come up so quickly. You know, you don't want to get a guy thrown out at the plate. Worst case scenario, maybe you allow the pitcher to clear his at bat.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you're a third base coach and you talk to these guys all the time, a one-hop bullet right at the outfielder when he doesn't have to move at all, it's a very good chance you're going to hold him up. If Garrett Jones had to move a little bit either way, you might send him. But that was right at him, and his momentum going toward home plate. Zahn would have been out easily. And you anticipate that as a third base coach. You're thinking already, all right, it's right at him. There's no way Zahn's going to score, so you hold him. And there was really no doubt in his mind that he was going to hold him up.
There's the Madison native, Brad Fisher. And how about this? Gallardo with a base hit. Zahn will score. And it's 6-0 Milwaukee, and Giovanni Gallardo, the Brewers pitcher, has half of the RBIs.
And you're right. That's another reason why you hold him up. He can hit. And a good piece of hitting at that. A pitch down and away, a little bit up actually, but it was on the outside corner. And just dumps it into right field. How about the bottom 3 in the order for the Brewers? All of the RBIs.
Yep, Zahn with 3, Gallardo with 3. And the last 3 in the order have been on base 5 times. on 4 hits and a walk. And now here's Ricky Weeks back to the top of the order. Something about the Pirates. Brewers fans wondering where this offense was this weekend against the Cubs. Bats are alive and well tonight. 6 runs on 7 hits, and Weeks hammers one into left field. Here comes Escobar. He'll try to score. The throw is cut off. Escobar scores, and it's 7-0.
Well, the Brewers bat around on Zach Duke. All of a sudden getting some pitches up in the strike zone and catching a lot of the white of the plate. Still no activity in that Pirate bullpen. So back-to-back starts for Zach Duke against Milwaukee. Not very good. Look at the location of that pitch. Right down the middle of the plate. Ricky doesn't miss it. And Escobar with good speed. No doubt that Brad Fisher's going to send him with 2 outs. So 5 consecutive base runners, including 5 hits with 2 outs.
6 hits total. And the Brewers have 7 runs on the board here in the 3rd inning. 2 in the 2nd, 5 here in the 3rd. And it's Carlos Gomez with 2 men aboard. A walk and 4 straight hits with 2 outs in this inning. There is not a more important stat for a hitting coach than 2-out RBIs. And all 7 in this game have been with 2 away, as Gomez is almost hit by a pitch.
Well, talking to Dale before today's game, never any panic in his voice about that Chicago series, and just the attitude. You go out there, you put a good at bat together and see what happens. You know, people say, what do you say to the team after a series like they had in Chicago? You don't say anything. I mean, unless you're just throwing the ball all over the place, making mental mistakes, which the Brewers weren't. They just got beat. Just like you don't say a whole lot after that Pirates series in Pittsburgh. You don't say anything about that Cubs series over the weekend.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Gomez. 10th batter in the inning. Gomez started this inning with a ground out on a bunt attempt for a hit. And he went, says Tim Welke. He rings up Carlos Gomez. The inning is over. But the Brewers do damage. 5 runs in. Zahn with a 3 RBI double. And then it was Gallardo with an RBI single. 7-0 Brew Crew. Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save. And by Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. Roof is closed, lights are up, and the Brewers are ringing up the scoreboard right now. It is 7-0 Milwaukee. After a 5-run third inning, they brought 10 men to the plate. And the Brewers picking up right where they left off against the same Pirates last week. Gallardo has done damage with his bat. He has 2 hits and 3 RBIs. And meanwhile, he has a 2-hit shutout through the first 3 innings. Gallardo has 2 strikeouts to go along with 2 walks. Both of the hits are singles against Gallardo. Jeff Clement was one of Gallardo's strikeout victims his last time up.
Sometimes you just wonder what the difference is. I mean, it's not like Zach Duke is a slouch out there in the mound. I mean, he's tough. I mean, he's had a good season. He's had a couple of tough starts against the Brewers. For some reason, the Brewers feel comfortable and get their hits against Zach Duke. Could not do that against the Cubs.
And it's not as if Zach Duke is that much worse,
right,
if at all, than a guy like Ted Lilly.
Right, exactly. That was my point.
I mean, Duke is he's
tough.
He's a proven winner, and he's an ace. But the Brewers have his number, at least this year.
I don't know. It's just one of those things that you can't figure out.
Two balls and 2 strikes. And Gallardo misses with a fastball. Giovanni's starting to use his fastball a little more with 2 strikes. He struck out Cedeno to end the second inning on a fastball. There's a fastball, and it's popped up. Long run for Escobar. Braun calls, and he's got it. Much easier play for Ryan Braun, and he runs it down for the first out. Hey, a reminder, June 7th, it's the Davey Nelson Golf Tournament. And our crew in the community, he'll host a celebrity golf tournament at the original championship Black Wolf Run Golf Course in Kohler. The tournament will begin at noon, and it'll be followed by a cocktail and dinner reception with both a silent and live auction. Celebrity guests scheduled to golf in the tournament include Robin Yount, Gorman Thomas, and a host of others. For additional information, go to brewers.com/Davey. Escobar, low throw, and another error by the Brewers shortstop. A routine ground ball for Escobar, and it's another E on his line. And it's getting to the point where Escobar needs to start making some of these plays.
Yep, everything is good except he just spikes it in front of Prince. An impossible hop for Fielder over at first base. I mean, that in-between hop, you're lucky you didn't get a tooth knocked out.
So 2 errors by the Brewers. And Iwamura to second base as the throw went into the Brewer dugout.
That's all part of the learning curve for Escobar, and he's going to make some mistakes, but he's certainly going to make some tremendous plays, some unbelievable athletic plays. We've seen it already, but it's the routine plays that even in spring training, I think people were wondering how he was going to handle them. And that one was as routine as it gets.
Error number 6 on Escobar. Ken Maka was talking about Escobar, and he said it's not a lack of effort. It's not an energy situation. He is getting in his work. It's a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
It's a rookie who is trying to be too perfect. But obviously the Brewers need that play made if they are going to be successful this year.
And Giovanni Gallardo now down 3-0 to Zach Duke. That's not good.
The Pirates pitcher at the plate. Runner at second, 1 out. Well, he walked him. So Gallardo walked the pitcher on 5 pitches. And it's first and second for the Pirates now. Our AT&T trivia tonight. Which team holds the record for the largest run differential over another in a 3-game series? And you got to go way back to the 1901 season. The Brooklyn, I believe they were the Trolley Dodgers at that point, or possibly the Superbas over the Cincinnati Redlegs. 40-run differential.
The Superbas over the Redlegs.
Was it the Superbas back in 01? They have a good club, Ron?
I don't know.
But the Brewers' 35-run differential ended up 4th on this list. Tigers over the Twins back in 93. Then you got to go back to 1950. And Boston, I assume the Boston Braves at that point, and the St. Louis Cardinals. And then Brooklyn and Cincinnati. Now I got to find out. They had some cool names back there. See, the Trolley Dodgers ended up, kind of being part of the gig for Brooklyn before they went to Los Angeles.
Right.
You didn't know about the Superbas, huh?
No. Don't knock yourself out over there.
No, I got to find it. I'll tell you this. What's interesting about the olden days, Rob?
Yeah.
They all wore wool uniforms, right?
Yeah, hot.
And the Brooklyn team, they had checkered uniforms. Not pinstripes, but little squares all over their uniforms.
Okay.
Checkered. You can look it up.
Well, you're doing that now.
Not yet. Trying. Long storied history of baseball in Flatbush before they left for Los Angeles in 58. Fly ball to right, and Hart is under it. He's got it. Iwamura will tag, and Hart gets it back to the infield, but Cedeno is retired. 2 outs now. Back to the top of the order. I've always been fascinated with old-time baseball. I mean, when you go way, way, way back. The 1901 Brooklyn Superbas. And old Ned Hanlon skippering the way.
Yep. Yep, I've got that here too on my computer.
How about the name before the Superbas? I love that one.
Go ahead.
They were known as the Brooklyn Bridegrooms. And our producer has had enough. So we remind you that this WMLW is your home for great comedies, including My Wife and Kids, tonight at 10:30, followed by Everybody Hates Chris, tonight at 11 here on WMLW. Oh, and 2 on McCutchen. What are you digging up over there, Parker?
I'm watching the game.
0-2 to McCutchen. Runners at the corners, and there's a base hit. That's going to get down the line and to the wall. A run is in. Braun retrieves it. They're going to send the runner. Here comes the throw. It is late. And 2-run score. That wasn't a very good throw in from Ryan Braun. Zach Duke scores all the way from first base. Instead of Gallardo being out of the inning, McCutchen drives in 2, and it's now 7-2 Milwaukee.
An error, then a walk to the pitcher cost Giovanni a couple of runs, a curveball, and McCutchen does a nice job waiting back. It was middle in, able to pull it down the line, and 2 runs on the board for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
So McCutchen with 2 RBIs, which matches his total coming into the play today. Gallardo now over the 70 pitch plateau in the 4th inning.
Yeah, every inning the Pirates have had at least 2 base runners. Not nearly as sharp as he was in his last start against the Pirates.
McGee makes a catch. A line shot from LaRoche. And Case McGee brings it down to end the inning. Gallardo gives up a pair but gets out of it with no further damage thanks to that play. All-Star ballot.
And tomorrow night is singles night at Miller Park, presented by Milwaukee Online. For $40, get a due-deck ticket, which includes a buffet and 2 drinks per person, plus the opportunity to mingle with area singles. Visit brewers.com/singles on Milwaukee.com.
That's where Drew Olson does his finest work. Is that right?
Yes, he does. No, actually, he does his finest work with us.
That's right. Good call, Rock. Ryan Braun leads off.
Where is Drew tonight?
It's just you and me tonight, partner. Seven to 2 Crew. 10 batters to the plate in the 3rd inning against Zach Duke. Braun started the run. He had a hit with 1 out in that 3rd inning. Brewers scored 5 runs on 6 hits last inning. Ryan has his batting average up to .370. And Braun draws the walk.
The only way you hit .370 at this point in the season is having a good eye at the plate, not expanding the zone, no matter what the score or what the situation is. It's a good eye by Ronnie.
So Braun at first for Prince Fielder, and while there have been a couple of errors defensively for Milwaukee on the left side, the right side has been pretty secure with Fielder making a number of nice plays. He's really improved his defense, and it's been a point of pride for Fielder. He did not want to be known as A, just a home run hitter, B, just an offensive player. Fielder spends a lot of time with Willie Randolph. Defensive drills, fungos.
And just to mix it up from time to time, he'll take ground balls at shortstop, go over to third base. We saw him today before the ball game at third base, having a good time with Casey McGee before the game. Yeah, break the monotony just a bit.
Taking some ground balls, and you change the. You not only change the fungo hitter, but you change the perspective and keep things fresh. But meanwhile, you're still working on your fundamentals, your technique.
Yeah, Prince has been very aggressive back-to-back games where he's been able to field a bunt. He got on it quickly and spun around and made a throw to second base. Starting to trust that arm a lot more than he did early on in his career. I think his arm's improved quite a bit.
Yep. Accuracy certainly has. Randolph was a terrific second baseman during his playing days. Covered nearly 2 decades as a major league second baseman. There goes Braun. Fielder pulls one foul.
Had a great jump. First move off of Duke. There he is. Big smile on his face. Having a good old time.
Well, and you need that kind of presence, don't you, Rock? I mean, after a 3-game series where you got swept, here's Prince Fielder, here's your leader, and he's not exactly swinging the bat all that well, but he's out there having fun. He's smiling.
The guys are in a good mood around the batting cage today. Season's too long to get worked up over 3 games.
I think Fielder, of all the things that he does, and most of what he does you see during the games, but it's what he does in the clubhouse and moments just like that, or when he's around the cage and he's full of energy before the game. It really pays off with the ball club in the long run. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Braun at first, and Duke's going to check on him.
I think Prince realizes these days that all eyes are on him, particularly when things aren't going all that well, when the team's losing, when Prince isn't swinging the bat well. What is Prince doing? What is his attitude? Is he beating up the clubhouse? Or he's very conscious of that these days.
Braun takes off again. Fielder fouls it away.
He's got that sixth sense sometimes in batting practice when he feels as though the team's a bit dead. Guys that want to be out taking hacks, particularly on day games, and that's when Prince fires himself up. He'll be yelling at himself when he doesn't hit a ball right. Most of that's for effect.
Popped him up, slicing toward the seats, and that'll get up about 5 rows. Fielder stays alive. I think you're right, though. I mean, Fielder has this great awareness of his surroundings, For example, the other day we were at the batting cage. You were down there, Rock, and a group of Secret Service agents were there. Now, they were standing back behind the cage. Prince could, he had no idea who it was or why this big group of guys were behind him. But Bruce Fleming was with him, and, he sensed this might be some VIPs here. And he went back, and as Prince is drilled again, that has been an often occurrence here in 2010. Prince Fielder leads the National Leagues in hit by pitches.
I don't think there was any intent at all right there. Got him right on the back of the elbow. Once again, no pad for Prince. Not wearing it all of a sudden. Yeah, first week to 10 days, he had that big elbow pad on. Got him right on the tricep. 7th time for Prince that he's been hit by a pitch.
And that came on a 2-strike pitch from Zach Duke. Here's Casey McGee now. Nobody out. 7-2 Brewers. Braun takes off, and the throw is late. Ryan Braun steals third. I think he was encouraged by Fielder to do so. And the Brewers have runners at the corners.
Yeah, sometimes when you have a pitcher out there with a great move to first base, it's much easier to steal third. Put his head down and just able to get the foot in there before LaRose drops the tag. But Sometimes a pitcher will forget about a base runner at second base.
5th stolen base for Braun. Fielder encouraging Ryan to run, but not running on his own.
You got to make sure that the runner at second is going to actually take off all the way. You start running to second, and he decides to stop at second, you are in bad shape. If you don't get a good jump at first, and the guy's taking off, you know, watch Prince. He's pointing. He's going to point at somebody over there. Ryan with a great jump. Prince had no intention of taking off.
McGee pops it up. Jones has a good arm. Braun's going to tag with great speed, and here he comes. Now he stops, and Braun retreats. Well, Ryan might have had a chance to score there, but not wanting to take the risk with just 1 out.
That ball had a lot of air under it. Not a very strong throw. It was accurate. He hit the cutoff man, and that's what Ryan was looking for. If he missed the cutoff man, he would have kept going. You watch the trajectory of the throw and where it's going to be. It's offline, and Clement has to run for it or move around for it. He continues. But if it's right on line, you head back.
Jones has 2 outfield assists this year. So 1 out, and still runners at first and third for Hart, and he sends one to left. This should get the run home as Church will make the catch. Braun coming in to score. So Hart a sacrifice fly, and the Brewers lead at 8-2, and the stolen base for Ryan Braun pays off.
No, a run without the benefit of a base hit. You love to see those things. Big stolen base ends up costing Zach Duke a run. Corey out in front of one. He hooked a pitch away from him and got enough of it to drive in the run number 8.
Hart with his 10th RBI of the year. Here's Greg Zaun, little flare, shallow right. That's going to fall for a base hit. Greg Zaun with his 2nd hit as a right-handed batter this year. They've come in consecutive at-bats.
It really is a game of averages, isn't it? I mean, really? I mean, how long do you think Greg Zaun was going to go without a base hit as a right-handed hitter? 0 for 16, now 2 for 2 tonight. And a walk, 3 RBIs. Numbers catch up to you after a while.
Pirates get 2 at the top of the 4th. The Brewers get 1 of them back. And finally, bullpen activity. Hard throwing Evan Meek is loosening for Pittsburgh. Alcides Escobar with 2 outs. Fielder at second. Zaun over at first. Escobar singled and scored his last time up. He was part of that big 5-run inning. Escobar foul down the left field line. There's nothing more interesting than your own foul ball story, and nothing more boring than somebody else's foul ball story. It's kind of like a round of golf, you know. You talk about your own round the whole day.
Not me.
But you don't want to hear about somebody else's.
I'd rather hear about somebody else's.
1 ball, 1 strike on Escobar. Zach Duke is just laboring his way through another game against the Brewers. He is a different pitcher against Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's not the only one for the Pirates. some of those things, particularly here at Miller Park.
This is the same guy who in consecutive starts beat Dan Herron of the Diamondbacks after an opening day victory over Vicente Padilla of the Dodgers. Started the season 2-0. Duke's ERA when he faced the Brewers in Pittsburgh prior to that game was 2.37. But he gave up 7 runs, 6 earned in 5 innings. And he's now given up 22 runs, 21 of them earned in his last 3 starts against Milwaukee going back to last year. Runners go. Escobar breaks his bat. Look out in the seats. Duke makes the play and the inning is over. Brewers get a run. They lead it 8-2 as we head to the 5th. Well, it's been a big night for the offense tonight for the Brewers. They have 8 runs on the board, 9 hits already as we head to the 5th inning. Meanwhile, Gallardo, he's given up 2 runs, but defense let him down in that 4th inning. And both of those runs unearned against Gallardo. So he still has not allowed an earned run against Pittsburgh this year. To the 5th we go. Gallardo is looking for a quick inning. Pitch count at 72. Ryan Church, Garrett Jones, and Ryan Doman. And Church fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike on Church. Gallardo trying to streamline here with a 6-run lead. There is a difference pitching with in a close game or with a big lead. Very similar to Gallardo's last start against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you want to get ahead in the count, but you don't want to mess around too much because it's only the 5th inning. You don't want to change what you're doing a whole lot. The Pirates still have some time to peck away and get back in this ball game. We have not seen too many changeups from Yoke tonight. That is a pitch that's been noticeably absent from his repertoire so far this year. It used to be one of his best. Not sure where that missed.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Church, who is 0 for 2 against Gallardo. Bouncer over to Prince. Takes the easy hop, and 1 gone in the 5th. So 1 gone, and here comes Garrett Jones. Jones has been walked twice. 3 Gallardo walks here tonight.
They'll go after him now, though.
Yeah, both occasions there was a base open at first, men on base. There was a runner at second. And while Gallardo was trying to get him out, he was going to see if Jones would get himself out. And once he fell behind, he was content to walk him. There's a strike. Fastball from Gallardo.
Got a lot of power, but he still has a lot of holes in his bat, holes in his swing. A .226 hitter.
Off the end of the bat into left center. Braun and Gomez. It'll be Braun to make the catch for the out. 2 outs. Well, CBS 58 News always has your most important news and your full, complete first alert weather in the first 10 minutes. Tonight at 10, turn to CBS 58's 10 at 10 News for just 10 minutes. I mean, you could stay and watch the entire broadcast, but all the the good stuff is right there at the front, and then they get into more detailed information later.
Yep.
Not that the rest of the show is worth turning off. That's
everybody's interested in weather, though.
But the first 10 minutes, you're going to get that weather you're looking for. Ryan Doman with 2 outs. Quickly 0-2 on Doman.
Now slider from Giovanni. So bad it was good. Hung up around the letters, and Doman swung right through it.
Zahn wants a fastball. And Doman in the right field for a base hit.
No, I tried to come inside with a fastball and an 0-2 count. Missed out over the plate and a base hit. Giovanni tapping his chest saying that was my fault. If you're going to come in, you got to come up and in to a left-hander. Left that one down and over the plate. Not a big fan of coming inside on 0-2. Never have been.
Risky.
And not much margin for error. You come in too far inside, you hit a batter, you leave it out over the plate, it's a base hit.
Good hammer. Gallardo's curveball gets him to 0-2 against Jeff Clement.
Right down the middle of the plate. And Clement watches it go by. What are they going to do 0-2 now? About a fastball away.
Zahn sets up away.
Curveball away.
Another curveball missed. Now, we've talked about this before, but the complement pitch to the curveball, the high fastball.
Right.
Haven't seen that much from Gallardo tonight.
Might see it right here. Good pitch to a lefty. They typically like to pitch fastball down and in, or at least down. Got back-to-back curveballs. Maybe they elevate the fastball this time.
Zahn wants another curveball. And the 1-2 in the dirt gets away from Zahn. And Doman into second base. That'll be a wild pitch. And a pitch that Zahn normally blocks.
Yeah, he's been so good all year blocking. Watch the glove come up. The glove comes up and the ball scoots right between the legs. It's a natural tendency, though. I mean, that's the instinct, to bring the glove up. You really have to force yourself to keep that glove in the dirt.
Well, now it's 2-2. 3 straight curveballs from Gallardo. And a fastball lifted into left field, slicing foul. Actually, we're going to have a catcher's interference here. And that's going to be a base hit for Jeff Clement.
That's an error on the catcher.
An E2.
E2 interference. No time at bat. Reaches for the fastball a little bit and just with the bat catches the webbing.
Tim Welke right on. You could kind of hear the double click.
That's the 3rd error for the Brewers.
It didn't look like much, but certainly hear it. And Welke was right on the call.
Normally that happens when a hitter is way behind a fastball. That very rarely happens with a curveball. Watch the glove. Does it move? Well, you really can't tell. You can't see it, you hear it.
There's a strike. So the Brewers with 3 errors now. McGee, Escobar, and Zahn. Two on for the Pirates. Iwamura slaps it foul, and again Gallardo has a Pirate hitter down 0-2. He gave up a 2-strike hit to Dolman, remember. And Clement reaches the catcher's interference. With 2 strikes.
Been a battle for Yo tonight. It really has.
It feels a lot like his first matchup against the Pirates. Gallardo struck out 10 and had 5 shutout, but didn't dominate like the numbers would tell you. The 0-2, and Iwamura strikes out. That was a good curveball in the dirt. Zahn blocks it, and the side is retired. Wisconsin are offering free prostate cancer screenings at Miller Park from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. May 20th. The first 500 men 40 and older who complete complete the screening that day, receive a voucher for 2 free Brewers tickets to a future game. Eight runs on the board for Milwaukee. Gallardo is through 5 innings on a high pitch count. He's only surrendered 2 runs, both of them unearned. Brewers have committed 3 errors in this game. And here is Evan Meek now to pitch. He's in relief of Zach Duke. Duke cannot get to the 5th.
Yeah, here's a guy off to a pretty good start for his season. 9th appearance, 1-0 record. 10 walks, 3 strikeouts, and an ERA under 1.
Gallardo bats in this 5th inning. Giovanni has had a big night offensively as Lasting's Millage comes in to play left. Gallardo has 2 hits and 3 runs batted in. Garrett Jones over at first base now. Pirates with a double switch. Clement is out.
Church out and right.
Two and 2 on Gallardo. His first 2 hits of the year. Giovanni Gallardo was 0 for 8 at the plate to start the day. He takes a lot of pride in his hitting. Has 3 of the 8 RBIs for the Brewers tonight. Gallardo fouls another one away.
I think this is where the decision for Ken Maka in his last time out against Pittsburgh, taking him out after the 5th inning. 103 pitches. Yeah, the Brewers had the big lead, the 8-0 lead, so they decided to sit him down, get the bullpen going, and I think maybe they could stretch him out a little bit more tonight. The Brewers used their bullpen quite a bit in yesterday's game.
Yeah, Dave Bush managed just 3 2/3. Had to get innings from Vargas, Coffey, LaTroy Hawkins win an inning, and Carlos Villanueva had one as well. 4 relievers used last night.
Jeff Suppan apparently available here tonight out of the bullpen.
There is Suppan in the bullpen. Gallardo walks, continues his perfect night at the plate. Top of the order now. Here's Ricky Weeks. Ricky had a base hit RBI in the 3rd inning. He singled with 2 outs. All 5 of the runs in the 3rd inning came on 2-out hits. Zahn drove in 3 with a double. And then Gallardo had an RBI single, followed by Weeks' RBI single. That is a stark contrast between Evan Meek and Zach Duke in velocity.
Yeah, he can get it up there pretty good. .96. 96 with some sink on it.
Last time we saw Meek, he struggled with his breaking ball. He pitched in that 20-0 Brewer win last Thursday.
Ball just explodes out of his hand. He looks like he's really effortless out there on the mound. A lot of guys get out there all arms and legs and grunting as they get rid of it. And they look as though they're throwing hard. He's got a nice, easy delivery. If he can get that curveball over that he throws, he could be tough, and he's been tough this year.
2 balls and a strike on Weeks. And a swing and a miss. 2 and 2. Meek had a scoreless game against the Brewers as well. He actually came in relief of Zach Duke last week, went 2 scoreless against Milwaukee, struck out 3 in that game. Dolman wants a breaking ball. And the 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Not even close. And you see a guy out there throwing hard. He can't throw his curveball. Slider over for a strike. And you pretty much forget about it. If he throws it over for a strike, you tip your hat. Go get him next time. Pretty good chance you're going to get a fastball here, Ricky.
Got a good cut. Count stays at 3-2.
Right down the middle. And a good fastball hitter not able to get the bat head out on it. Knowing it's coming.
So at this point, Ryan Dolman really has 2 fingers to put down. Either the pinky or the index finger, right?
Yeah. Why even give a sign?
Right.
You know it's coming.
Wants another fastball. Inside, outside. They'll settle for outside. And Weeks in the air to right. In the seats. 3-2. So Dolman says pinky, shakes it off. Index finger, shakes it off. Back to the pinky.
Back to the pinky, but he actually threw the finger.
The index
finger. It was supposed to be away. It ended up inside.
Not the finger.
Yeah, Nate gave him the finger.
The index finger. Okay. See what he's got in mind here. How about a fastball? All right. Coming inside this time. And he strikes out Weeks. Now that was supposed to be inside, and it was outside.
Yeah, not even on the plate. But you don't have much time to decide whether you want to swing with this guy out there. Almost knocked Dolman's glove off.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Carlos Gomez with a runner at first and 1 out. Gomez has a single tonight. He's 1 for 3. Slices that one foul. Oh, ate up the ball girl. It's all right.
Knocked it down, though.
Saved a run.
Saved a fan.
Gallardo at first. 1 gone, and Gomez takes a breaking ball.
Ever seen him sit still?
No, he is.
Or just stand without moving something?
Constant energy. There's the rhythm ringing through his ears all the time. There's a good breaking ball from Meek, and he strikes out Gomez.
Oh, there you go. You tip your hat. There's no way you can go up there and look for that pitch when you have him out there throwing mid-90s. Yep. 1-2 count. I'm going to try another one, that time right down the middle. Not much you can do about it.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Evan Meek, and here's Braun now. This ought to be a good matchup. Braun is 1 for 2 with a walk. Also has a stolen base. Starts him with a breaking ball. Evan Meek with a breaking ball that he can command. He's legit.
That's why he's got a .80 something ERA.
You're talking about a future closer here.
Right. You throw it over consistently.
In the ground, and that eats alive LaRoche. He took the wrong hop. He had to take a chance because of Braun's speed.
Yeah.
Ryan beats it out, and see how they score that one.
Yeah, if he waits back for another hop, he's not going to be able to get Ryan at first base. So he feels like he's got to charge it. And it goes off his glove. Tricky hop, that could be a base hit.
It'll go as an error. The fourth error of the game. And the first by the Pirates.
Yeah, that's a tough scoring decision. That's a tough one to call. It really is. It could have gone either way. And knowing the speed of Ryan Braun, Andy LaRoche felt as though he had to charge it. He got a tricky hop on it. Couldn't handle it.
All right, so Fielder is at the plate. 2 on with 2 out. You think about error and you think about Andy LaRoche, and the first thing that pops in your mind is the CC Sabathia game. It was LaRoche who was given credit for a hit in Sabathia's one-hitter against the Pirates that year. Should have been a no-hitter.
Had a little dribble in front of home plate. CC went after it. Went after it barehanded, went off his glove, or went off his hand, and clearly an error. The official score in Pittsburgh gave him a hit.
It was Andy LaRoche standing between CC Sabathia and a no-hitter, which would have been the second in franchise history. Today, Juan Nieves has thrown the only no-hitter in franchise history, caught by my partner Bill Schroeder.
Should have been one of 2. That was a disappointing day in Pittsburgh. Of course, the Brewers won. Ultimately would head to the postseason, but it should have been a no-hitter.
Well, the Brewers will play the Pirates tomorrow again. It's a 6:30 airtime. We're back on Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow night. And then a matinee Wednesday. 11:30 is airtime for Brewers Live, and then it's off to San Diego. Brewers Live begins at 8:30 Thursday from San Diego. It starts a 4-game series out west at Petco Park. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Fielder. Brents has a hit tonight. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. He leads the National League in hit by pitches. Gallardo at second. Braun over at first. And Fielder, a big rip, fouls it away. 1 and 2.
Hanging tough, and back-to-back sliders from Meek, and both of them up in the strike zone, and Prince able to fight him off.
He's thrown a lot of pitches.
That's about average.
Give up a run.
That's about average for tonight, isn't it?
That's right. We're in the bottom of the 5th.
There hasn't been one 3-up, 3-down inning tonight.
Doman has made 2 trips to the mound with 2 strikes against Fielder. Again, the 1-2 high and outside. Meek and Domet not on the same page here. Still going through the signs. 2-2 now. Fielder pulls it over to Jones, and the side is retired. Fielder strands a pair. Still 8-2. We're headed to the 6th inning at Miller Park.
Giovanni Gallardo, his first hit of the year was a big one. A double that drove in a couple of runs. A nifty slide by Zoni, who would double in the third and drive in 3, emptied the bases, and 4 straight hits with 2 outs in that 3rd inning. And the Brewers currently hold an 8-2 lead.
Cousin Subs game reset. Milwaukee tried to make it 22 consecutive wins over the Pirates here at Miller Park. An amazing streak. Brewers swept Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh last week. Milwaukee coming in 8-10. Excuse me, 10, while the Pirates 7-11. Remember, the Pirates were off to a pretty good start, but they've dropped 6 straight. Lastings Millage batting for the first time. Came in on the double switch. Millage batting in the pitcher spot. Now the Bucks are headed to the 4th quarter with a lead of 11. Trying to even that series at 2 games apiece. There's your home court advantage. Millage pops it up. 1 out for Gallardo.
I think it's safe to say that home field, court, ice, whatever it is, advantage is less in baseball than any of the sports, I would think.
Yeah.
Hockey, basketball, football. It's big.
The Brewers here at Miller Park this year are 3-6. So Miller Park has not been much of an advantage at all this season for Milwaukee, while they are 5-4 on the road. I think baseball players kind of get into a little more of a comfort zone on the road. Cedeno pops it up. Gomez makes a catch. Not so much with their surroundings and the visiting clubhouse, but I think because you're together, the team's together, you're in the hotels. It's a little more of a routine than when you get home.
And it's still awfully nice to be at home in your own clubhouse and your own fans around you. Well, yeah, I think home field advantage doesn't mean as much in baseball as it does in any of the sports. Of course, the other sports are not on the road that much. I mean, you go into a city, you play a basketball game, you leave, right? Right. You're off to another city. Football's the same way.
Just the sheer number of games allows you to be more comfortable on the road. 81 games away from your.
You better get used to it,
right?
Because you're playing a lot. both ways. It's when the road trips seem to really dominate your schedule, like the Brewers' road schedule right now. Just get off the road, it seems like, home for 6 days and back out for 10. Puts a lot of pressure on your dry cleaner.
Before and after.
Yeah.
1-2. And McCutchen takes a ball. We'll see if Gallardo can get through an inning. 1, 2, 3. Both runs that have been scored by the Pirates are unearned. They came in the fourth. And that was following a error by Escobar. McCutchen drove in both of the runs with a double.
This kid's a tough out. He really is. Covers the plate pretty well. Can handle the fastball. His double was a breaking ball down the line. Scored a couple of runs. He can run. Pretty good outfielder. Good player.
Breaks his bat. Weeks can't make the play. And McCutchen extends the inning.
Did you see where that pitch was? I mean, you talk about covering both sides of the plate, huh? Curveball inside his last time up, ripped it down the left field line. Check out this pitch. And not even on the plate. A little bit off the end of the bat and a base hit.
And even if Weeks comes up with that cleanly, that's going to be a tough out with McCutchen. One of the fastest in the league. So here's LaRoche. Andy LaRoche, his brother Adam, was traded away from the Pirates last year. Adam went to Boston briefly. He was there just a week, and then he was traded to the Atlanta Braves. For much of the season last season, Andy LaRoche would show up to the ballpark and have his brother in the lineup with him at the corner positions. Andy would play third, Adam the first baseman.
It was a much different looking team midway point of the season last year for the Pirates. They had some pretty good players. Veteran guys.
Jack Wilson, Freddie Sanchez. Oh, there's a good curveball. Man, some kind of pitch, and Gallardo strikes out LaRoche. So Giovanni picks up his fourth strikeout. It might be his final hitter. 6 innings on the board. The Brewers lead 8-2. Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. And by GNC. We are professional grade. Sausage Race is always a big hit. And a reminder, parents, your 6th to 8th grade students can win a school visit from a Milwaukee Brewers player during the Milwaukee Brewers Score for Excellence Day. That's on Friday, May 28th. Just visit Brewers.com, download the entry form, and your kids could score for excellence with the Brewers. Rick Peterson talking to Giovanni Gallardo. Gallardo is probably done. His pitch count is in the red zone right now with an 8-2 lead. We'll see what Ken Maka does here.
Manny Parra getting loose out in that bullpen, and there's only one reason that Manny would be throwing right now while the Brewers are hitting.
Well, Giovanni goes 6 innings, has 4 strikeouts, pitched around 3 errors, which is why the 2 runs he gave up are unearned. Casey McGee fouls it away. Well, this is a great matchup here between McGee and Meek. Casey's one of the better fastball hitters on the ball club, and you know about Meek's fastball already.
Yeah, good high fastball hitter, Casey McGee.
And a breaking ball from Meek strikes out Casey McGee. Let's take a look at the day of Giovanni Gallardo. Not just doing it on the mound, but at the plate as well. Giovanni with 2 hits and a walk. He drove in 3 runs tonight. And he was efficient on the mound. 6 innings, 2 runs unearned, and only 5 hits for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he runs his consecutive scoreless streak as far as earned runs against the Pirates to 11 this year.
Well, did not have a 3-up, 3-down inning. The closest he got was the 6th, his last inning. An infield hit by Andrew McCutchen, and then a strikeout.
Corey Hart banks one to right and a base hit.
Still not a 3-up, 3-down innings tonight.
It's all right on this side of the ledger.
Right. You don't like him when the Brewers are hitting.
Well, here's Greg Zahn. His day started with his inability to throw the baseball back to the pitcher. Had a bit of the yips in the first inning, but boy, he turned it around. Not only has he had success throwing the baseball back to the pitcher after pitches, but Zahn got his first hit as a right-handed batter of the year, and it produced 3 runs. It was a double back in the 3rd inning.
You notice Greg Zahn now using batting gloves.
Good observation. Not something he did all spring, nor did he do the beginning of the year.
You ever shake hands with him?
Yes.
It's like shaking hands with sandpaper.
He had some issues with his hands in Arizona. Remember, he told us one day that his hands were cracking and splitting, and they said, well, why don't you use batting gloves? Oh, I can't feel the bat. Somebody has convinced him otherwise.
You can't feel the bat when your hands are all calloused up either. He uses Cornhusker lotion on his hands to soften them up, make them supple. And there you go. The first hit as a right-handed batter this year. Clears the bases and dumps one into right field. So 2 base hits tonight as a right-handed hitter.
With batting gloves and supple hands. Did that come out of your mouth? And another base hit for Zahn.
Now remember, I used that term in spring training, and he liked it so much I figured I'd break it out again. Why not? Put a smile on your face.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. There you go. When you're hot, you're hot. 3 base hits for Zoni. Batting gloves or not, he can feel that bat. What's he talking about? I always felt as though with batting gloves, the bat felt lighter in my hands. Felt as though I could use a heavier bat.
Better grip?
Yeah.
Lighter bat?
Plus with batting gloves, you like to take the pine tar on.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't have batting gloves, it bothers you in the field.
Yeah, that's true.
The ball sticks to your hands. And
got to have just the right combination of pine tar and
rosin.
A little rosin, sometimes a little dirt.
Sometimes you use the claw down there, the pine tar stick that they use.
You get a little too much on your hands, you pat the umpire on the back as you walk by.
Right.
For the bad boy. There's Joe Inglet. He's in the on-deck circle. He'll be hitting for Gallardo. Remember those old home run derby shows they used to put together? And,
right, yeah.
All those legends from the 50s and 60s, guys like Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron. Bouncer to short. Cedeno to second for 1. That's all they'll get. And the Brewers have runners at the corners, now 2 outs. They used to wear those ranch gloves, the rancher's gloves.
Right. They didn't have batting gloves back then.
And those were always shot early in the, before spring training even. Those guys would go there and they'd play home run derby. They'd get all sore. And they couldn't hit home runs. So then they'd have to fake some of the home runs. They'd have to, through creative editing, swing, and then they show the ball going over the fence.
They didn't do that.
Oh, they did.
Don't tell me that.
Vasgersian told me that story.
Oh, then it can't be true.
He's a Hollywood guy. He knows all about creative editing. I mean, a guy pulls one to left and you see it going out over the 400-foot marker. I love that show.
Yeah.
Almost hits Joe Inglet.
That was at Wrigley Field in L.A.
That's right, Wrigley Field.
Little bandbox.
Yeah. In Los Angeles, the Wrigley Field of Los Angeles,
right.
Which was kind of a hotbed in the old Pacific Coast League. I like to see Home Run Derby make a comeback. That old show. It's a home run or an out. Friends would like to see it too. The Home Run Derby champion last year. Joe Hanrahan is loosening for the Pirates. Joe Inglet swinging the bat well this year. He has 5 hits. It's 5 for 11. There's a strike, 3-1.
Had 5 base hits for Joe Inglet, 2 triples and a double, along with a couple of singles.
And Inglet sends one to right. And the side retired. Well, we are headed to the 7th inning at Miller Park. The Brewers lead the Pirates 8-2. Here comes Manning. Toyota. Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. Well, today, Rocket Brewers unveiled a program first proposed by the Milwaukee Brewers and now supported by multiple civic and business partners. And the man whose vision and commitment to addressing this issue inspired the creation of the Fatherhood Road Trip. It was Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett, and he was here today in a great contingency to talk about the new program.
To create this fatherhood initiative, to make sure that fathers understand how important it is to be a dad, how important it is to be part of their children's lives. And that's what this is all about.
Myself, personally, I didn't grow up with a father like a lot of African-American families, and I've struggled because of that. But I made a promise to myself and my wife and my kids that I was going to break that cycle of the stereotype of, fathers leaving their wives, leaving their kids. I made a promise to myself, my family, my kids, that I was going to change that whole cycle.
That was earlier today. LaTroy Hawkins, he and Ricky Weeks involved in this program, and our thanks to Republican Frontier President and Chief Executive Officer Brian Bedford, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Brent Kelly was here. M&I Bank, he's their Senior Vice President of Marketing. Cecilia Gore of the Brewers Community Foundation. And we heard from Jarvis McCoy today as well. He's one of the fathers who has been involved in this fatherhood initiative and a living example of how this program can make such a difference. So it was a great program as Gomez runs one down. Boy, a nice catch. First out of the inning. As Garrett Jones flies out, Gomez quick on his feet, runs that one down for the first out.
Good instincts by Carlos Gomez. Hey, Jones hit that one right on the nose, on a line, and Gomez going back. Never did take his eye off that baseball and hauled it in. Nice catch.
Now, anyway, the fatherhood program, it's going to be an exciting program, and that group is going to fly to Minneapolis on a Frontier chartered flight. So they provide the charter, and M&I's involved, and, of course, the Brewers Community Foundation. So that was a good moment here today, and always want to showcase the players when they get involved, and LaTroy and Ricky Weeks involved this year in the Fatherhood Road Trip.
I remember it was a 3 years ago, Ricky Weeks and a group took a bunch of kids to Kansas City. Now they get to go to Minneapolis.
Yeah, we look forward to having them on the road.
They took them many places in Kansas City, but the Negro League Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Ricky Weeks' grandfather played in the Negro League, so he had some great words for those kids. And it was so successful 2 years ago when they went to Kansas City. LaTroy Hawkins, very active in the community. LaTroy had double duty today. Not only was he representing the players in this fatherhood program, the road trip, but he also had a group from the RBI program in Milwaukee. He had a big group of guys here from that RBI program, and they watched batting practice. So good for LaTroy.
I'll tell you, the Brewers organization really reaches out into the community. I don't know if other teams do it, but I've never been associated with a team that has done it like to the extent that the Brewers do it, and they get their players involved. And the guys just don't agree to do it. They really enjoy doing it. They want to do it. They want to be involved in the community. Every one of them.
Well, kudos to Rick Schlesinger and Tyler Barnes, the Brewers front office, and Cecilia Gore. McGee, nice pickup to second for one. Weeks the turn, and a double play. The Brewers go around the horn in a scoreless inning for Manny Parra. Defense has been a little shaky tonight, but not here. That was beautiful. has everybody's attention here in Milwaukee. Howard signing a 5-year extension that will run through the 16 season, possibly through the 17 season. Cliff Lee ready to make his debut with the Mariners on Friday. Had a rehab start yesterday in Tacoma. Pitched well. And Daisuke Matsuzaka will rejoin the Red Sox rotation. And interesting that the Red Sox do not remove Clay Buchholz from the rotation, but instead it's Tim Wakefield. So another veteran pitcher sent to the bullpen. And our text question has to do with the Ryan Howard contract. Adam from Green Bay wants to know, will the Howard deal affect Prince's new deal?
No doubt. Absolutely it'll affect Prince's deal. You know who's licking his chops other than Ryan Howard? Prince Fielder and
maybe Scott Boras.
That kind of money right there, if you give it to Ryan Howard, Prince Fielder might not get to that level, but fairly close. You never know. Who knows?
Howard had 2 years left, but they signed him to a 5-year extension. So I think all of these contracts count. They're on the board. That's how general managers, that's how owners come up with the numbers. As you see the numbers on Joe Hanrahan. But I think the Joe Mauer deal has just as much of an effect on the numbers that Prince will be asking for as Ryan Howard. Although the most comparable player at this point for Prince is Ryan Howard.
No doubt. Yep, very similar type guys.
Slugging first baseman. And it was Howard and Fielder who tied for the National League lead in RBIs last year. The Milwaukee Bucks trying to hang on against the Hawks with a minute left.
Good game. Now the Bucks win tonight. They go to Atlanta for one and then back to Milwaukee.
Right. I think so.
It was 2-2, 1-1-1.
Yeah, only in the finals, at least it used to be, only in the finals did they do the 2-3-2 format. But it's 1-1-1 at this point. A win tonight guarantees a game 6. And he went, says the base umpire Sam Holbrook. Ricky Weeks called out on strikes.
A good pitch by Hanrahan, who got touched up for 6 runs in 1 inning in that 20-0 Brewers win at Pittsburgh last week. Ricky trying to hold up, apparently not able to do it according to Sam Holbrook.
Carlos Gomez now with 1 away. A strike to Gomez. Kind of anxious to see what Cliff Lee's going to do in Seattle. As you see Villanueva loosening in the bullpen. How scary is the notion that for a brief time the Philadelphia Phillies had Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee in their starting rotation. But they took the opportunity to trade Lee in his final year of a contract and try to replenish their minor league system a little bit. A system that was pretty well depleted when they went after Halladay in the first place.
I don't think that the Phillies could have afforded both of them. So if you know you're going to lose a guy like Cliff Lee, final year of his contract, you try and trade him and get something for him. And the longer you wait to trade him, the deeper into the season, the less you get. So they wasted no time.
That is a dominant top 2 in the rotation with Felix Hernandez and Cliff Lee. The Brewers are going to play the Mariners this year. As Gomez strikes out, Hanrahan has 2 outs on 2 Ks. Well, Ryan Braun coming up. His home run against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh last week was his 5th Powerball home run count. He's still sitting on 5. Not as enthusiastic of a 1-2 punch from Prince and Braun as we've seen, though.
That was great.
Prince is like, all right, keep the line moving here. You don't want to just go through the motions now. If it's not fun anymore, you might go and come up with something new.
Well, I think, you get a little bit more intense with the 1-2 punch thing. If it's a huge home run that has a big impact, I mean, first inning home runs, I mean, that's what you get. You get a little wave over the head, basically. Home run in the 8th to give you a lead. Hey, that's when you get pumped up.
The choreographed post home run demonstration. Brewers have significantly toned down their choreography this year, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. By design. You had to talk about it in spring training.
Braun strikes out, flips his bat, slams his helmet. And Hanrahan has a 3-up, 3-down inning with 3 strikeouts.
Here's your game day forecast. I'm AccuWeather.com's Kate Bilo. Pirates are in town taking on the Brewers. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. It'll be a clear and cool night. First pitch temperature 50 degrees, but the sun will be shining. Winds 8 to 16 miles per hour.
All right, Kate, thanks a lot. Another sunny day in Milwaukee tomorrow. Looking forward to that. The roof is closed tonight, and the Brewers are handling the Pirates at this point. It is 8-2 Milwaukee. Top of the 8th we go, and it's going to be Carlos Villanueva in relief of Manny Parra, who worked a scoreless 7th.
There aren't too many guys that have been better out of that Brewers bullpen than Villa so far in his first 8 appearances. Check out the strikeouts for Villanueva. 14 strikeouts, only 3 walks in his first 8 appearances.
Bobby Crosby with a base hit to start the 8th inning for Pittsburgh. Crosby pinch hitting in the pitcher spot. So on the first pitch, a broken bat single for Crosby. By the way, Manny Parra continues his scoreless string out of that bullpen. He had a scoreless 8th inning. That is the Pittsburgh closer, Octavio Dotel. Hasn't been many closing situations for the Pirates here lately. They've lost 6 in a row.
And you got to get him some work. Same could be said for Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor went an inning yesterday in that 12-2 Cubs win. Dotel pitched in the 20-0 game. He and Hoffman pitched in that game. Unusual sight to see 2 closers in the game that couldn't have been further away from a save situation. At 20 zip.
You can't sit in that bullpen idle for too long. It had been almost a week for Trevor in that 20-0 ball game, and you just can't sit down in the bullpen without getting in. I think a week is a bit too long, but I guess when you're winning big, that's a good thing. It's not good when you're losing, though. And you hope that Trevor's not needed tonight.
Not with a 6-run lead and 6 outs to get. Iwamura. 4th trip to the plate. And he walks. So a hit and a walk. For an 8-2 ball game, it's been kind of a grinder for the pitching staff.
Yes, it has.
Gallardo went 6 innings and did not allow an earned run. He gave up 2 runs, both unearned. Struck out 4, but wasn't exactly on top of his game. Lasting's Millage at the plate. Pirates are 1 swing away from making it a ball game again. Millage batting for the 2nd time. He came in on a double switch in the 6th. Little flare in the left. Braun is over. He dives. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Ryan Braun with a great catch. A last moment stab. And Braun comes up with a beauty, maybe the best catch of the year from Ryan Braun.
Well done by Ryan. He got a pretty good jump on it, a perfectly timed leap, and able to get the glove underneath that baseball before it hit the ground. Well, that ball gets by Ryan, and 2 runs are going to cross home plate. Oh, yeah, beauty. Well, you love a guy that's going to play both offense and defense. It's been a frustrating couple of at-bats for Ryan. Very upset about that strikeout, but did not take it into left field. And with that, and talking about Ryan Braun, elect your favorite Brewers to the 2010 All-Star team. Vote early, vote often, and vote Brewers now through July 1st at Brewers.com.
Braun, the All-Star starter in the outfield the last 2 years. An All-Star worthy catch. His first step was back. That ball had a funny shape to it. Millage had a big swing. The Jimmy John's delivery of the game for Ryan Braun. Millage had a full swing but didn't square up.
He got it down on the trademark just a little bit and might have knuckled. Might have had a little bit of topspin on it.
I think you're right.
It was a funny trajectory off the bat. Ryan looks irritated.
That final at bat, he struck out. Slammed his helmet. Didn't take it to the field, however. Or maybe he did, but channeled it in a positive way. Look at it. He's still seething over that at bat. That's probably why the move to left field was a good one for Braun. Remember, he came up as a third baseman and committed 26 errors that year at third base. We are at Miller Park in Milwaukee, and we're glad you're with us. If you've come over from the Milwaukee Bucks game, Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. The Bucks winning 111-104. That series is all tied at 2, so the Bucks protect their home court. Congratulations to the Bucks.
Yeah, they're guaranteed another home game. That's good.
And guarantee a game 6. Glad you're with us now. It is 8-2. The Brewers jumping out early on the Pirates. Milwaukee got 2 runs in the 2nd inning on a 2 RBI double by Gallardo. Giovanni wasn't finished. He drove in a run in the 3rd inning as part of a 5-run 6-hit inning. Greg Zahn had a 3 RBI double in that frame. Corey Hart a sac fly in the 4th. Pirates got 2 in the top of the 4th. And it's 8-2 Milwaukee as we play in the top of the 8th. Giovanni Gallardo went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs. He struck out 4. Giovanni with 3 walks tonight. Meanwhile, the Brewers knocked Zach Duke, the Pirate ace, out after 4 innings. And all 8 of those runs belong to Duke. McGee makes the play to second for 1, weaks the turn, and it's not in time. And now they've got the runner held up, but fielder can't let the throw go.
That was a good idea not to throw, because he was running hard toward Crosby, who had rounded the bag, looked like he was going to try and score. Had Prince tried to throw that ball, pretty good chance he would have thrown it away as fast as he was going. It's hard to run at the runner who is halfway in between the bags. He's sprinting. Watch Prince. He starts sprinting. Now if he throws doing that, I think he throws it away and a run scores. So just hold on to it. Good decision. Either you throw it right away or you don't throw it at all.
Another nice pickup by McGee. They get the out at second. 2 outs now for Villanueva. And here's McCutchen, who owns the only 2 RBIs of this game for the Pirates. And a double in the 4th, which followed an error by Escobar, and the reason why those runs on Gallardo were unearned. Well, we've seen some terrific plays defensively for the Brewers tonight. We've also seen 3 errors by Milwaukee in this game.
Saw a catcher's interference. Batter hitting the glove of Greg Zahn. You very rarely see that in a game.
An E2. Second 3-error game the Brewers have had on this homestand.
Change up by Villa on a 2-0 count. Beauty. McCutchen sitting dead red, looking fastball, and he slips the change up by him.
McCutchen, a contender for Rookie of the Year last year. Finished in the top 5 in the voting a season ago. Nice block by Zahn.
He's been solid so far this year and blocking pitches in the dirt. That's why it was so surprising when he let one get by earlier.
That was back in the 5th. Didn't lead to a run. See what Carlos does with McCutchen here. 3 balls and a strike. Sitting on a 6-run lead in the 8th inning. And he got him. Villanueva to 2 strikes right on the corner. Snuck one by him.
Good slider.
McCutchen was ready to walk.
Yeah, he was looking fastball. Surprised that he got the slider.
That's the thing about Villanueva. He'll throw that breaking pitch, the changeup, or the curveball. The slider at any count. Now what does he do with it? 3-2. Runner goes. McCutchen fouls it away. Full count, 2 outs. Pirates on the corners. And McCutchen hammers one to left. Back goes Braun, and he'll run it down. How about the defense by Ryan Braun in this inning? 2 great catches. And a scoreless inning for Carlos Villanueva. Gallardo has 3 RBIs in this game. The Brewers scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning on 6 hits. That was the big inning for Milwaukee. And between Giovanni Gallardo and Greg Zahn, took care of 7 of the 8 runs. Hart has the sac fly. Only Casey McGee is hitless in this game. And Rock, how about the bottom of the Brewers order, the last 3 in the starting 9?
Yeah, not too bad. 6 of the 8 hits and 6 of the 7 RBIs, or 6 of the 8 RBIs tonight.
Greg Zahn collected his first hit as a right-handed batter this year and has a 3-hit game and 3 RBIs. Octavio Dotel to face Prince Fielder, the Pirates closer, again pitching in a non-save situation.
And interesting to see the Brewers line score. They've got 11 hits, 6 of them came in 1 inning. But the Pirates only have 1 3-up, 3-down inning. That was the last inning.
That was when Joel Hanrahan struck out the side. Fielder hammers one through the shift. And a base hit. So Prince with his 2nd hit. The Pirates don't put 3 infielders on the right side. They do send Iwamura into the hole. And Fielder slaps one through for base hit number 2. He is 2 for 4 tonight. Here's Casey McGee. The Brewers now at 12 hits. McGee would like to join the party here. Although he did walk and score a run in the 2nd inning. He scored the first Brewer run of this game. LaTroy Hawkins getting ready for the 9th.
Throwing that fastball at 92 miles an hour. Remember the days when he was in 96, 97 miles per hour? Houston Astros had 3 relievers that could get it up there near triple digits.
Dotel, and they have Brad Lidge and Billy Wagner. That one's on the corner for a strike.
93 with the fastball and a pretty good slider. There's a fastball right on the corner.
Dotel was Ken Maka's closer with Oakland. It was after his days in Houston. Two balls, two strikes on McGee. And Dotel strikes him out. One out and still a runner at first for Corey Hart.
Dotel relies a little bit more now on location, but got plenty of the plate with that fastball and threw it right by a good fastball hitter. Casey pulling off that fastball just a bit.
Corey Hart at our Wendy's at the plate here tonight had a sacrifice fly, a hit, a walk. Hart has his batting average up to 283. And that one is well hit. Will it stay fair? That one hooks foul. Boy, a missile from Hart. Just got out ahead of it.
Yeah, he turned around an Evan Meek fastball and got a base hit to right field. 94 with that fastball and hooked it foul. And Corey Hart with a quick bat here tonight.
That didn't take long to get into the seats.
See that slider coming.
It's almost a guarantee. You pull a ball like that foul, it's 90% you're going to get a slider on the next pitch. Two and two to Hart.
Game's easy to call, isn't it?
Oh man,
the guy turns around your best fastball, you give him a slider.
Right.
If he's behind your best fastball, you throw him another one.
It's a lot easier from where we sit than down there, though, right?
Well, that's the way catchers view it. Hitters will tell you what to throw next. Now that one at 95, that's more like it.
Had a little purpose to it. Full count to Corey Hart. Just one man out, and Hart takes ball four. That one bounced in. Corey continues his good day at the plate. First and second now with one away, and here's Greg Zahn. He can make it a 4-hit game. What a difference a day makes, huh, Rob?
Yeah, it's something, isn't it? Same hitters, same ballpark. Everybody having a good time. A lot of offense. That's the way it goes. You know, the way the Brewers were swinging the bats against that Cup pitching staff, their starters. You know, Ryan Dempster, Ted Lilly, Randy Wells. No success whatsoever. Then you have Zach Duke coming in. I mean, you figure, wow, another tough starter, right? But they're able to put some runs on the board and get the lead.
Against the Pirates, opening day starter, their ace. Greg Zahn is a hit away from his career high. Zahn has 3 hits and a walk. The big hit came here in the 3rd inning. It was a double, and it scored 3 runs. And a single to right his next time up. And then as a left-handed batter, he singled in the 6th inning. So 3 hits and a walk. And most importantly for Zahn, he gets off the schneid as a right-handed batter. His first 2 hits of the season. He had been 0 for 16 batting right-handed. He's had 3 4-hit games, none since the 06 season. Nice catch up there. So you stay late, you hang with it, finish the game, you get rewarded. Zone into center field. That ball's well hit. McCutchen cannot get there. Fielder around third. He's going to score. Here comes Corey Hart right behind him. The throw to the plate is late. Hart scores. And Zahn, with a true RBI double, has driven in 5, and it's 10-2 Milwaukee.
Boy, have a day, Greg Zahn. 2 hits right-handed, 2 hits left-handed. Well, that didn't look like a very bad pitch. That was a pitch on the outside corner. McCutchen playing shallow in center, couldn't get there. Corey Hart right on the heels of Prince Fielder, scoring run number 9 and 10. And the Brewers now with an 8-run lead.
Greg Zahn ties a career high for RBIs in a game with 5. Last done on September 13th of 06. It's the 4th time in his career he's driven in 5 runs. The first time in nearly 4 years. I think those batting gloves are a good call. Zahn using batting gloves for the first time in a game tonight.
Yeah.
I think they're going to stay.
They better stay after 4 hits.
4 hits and a walk.
But you never know with Zahn.
It's a supple hands.
Supple. I think I came up with that word in a crossword puzzle, and I've used it a couple of times.
That's a good word. And it, coming out of your mouth, it fits. Kind of fits your style.
Sure.
Suppan joins LaTroy Hawkins, probably just to get some work. Hawkins has been throwing and likely to come in for the night. Suppan might just be testing it out as a reliever.
And if you're going to get Hawkins ready and get him hot and ready, you got to get him in. You got to get him in the ball game. Well, we'll see.
Suppan replaced by Chris Narveson, who will pitch Wednesday. So Narveson moves in between Wolf and Doug Davis. Suppan was in that spot to break up the left-handers. Narveson makes it 3 consecutive left-handers in the rotation. There's Narveson, looking forward to the chance to get into the rotation. He pitched well in that role last year, especially in the final month. I'm kind of interested to see what Ken Maka does with his lineup over the next few days, Rock. A lot of left-handers are stacked up. Paul Mahalam is scheduled to pitch Wednesday, and then 2 lefties to start the Padres series. Escobar sends one deep to left center field. This one's way back there, and it's gone! Alcides Escobar with home run number 1. 12-2 Brewers as Escobar goes deep for the first time.
Now the first home run of the homestand for Milwaukee. Did not hit a home run against the Cubs. Escobar gets into one, a fastball down and in. Not so much down, but it was in, and rode it on out of here into that Brewer bullpen. A 4-run 8th against Dotel.
Ernie takes the slide. Escobar is on the board.
That was on a 1-2 count.
Pitching change here at Miller Park. John Russell removes his closer. It's 12-2 Brewers. Four-run inning. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder. Welcome back from Miller Park. And Rock, the Brewers are picking up right where they left off against the Pirates last week.
Yeah, something about that uniform. I'm not sure what it was, but now the Brewers with a 10-run lead and looking to make it 22 in a row against the Pittsburgh Pirates here at Miller Park. That is absolutely unheard of. And look at the difference. 12 runs tonight, 4 runs in 3 games against the Chicago Cubs. And Brewers finally on the home run board here in this homestand.
The Brewers outscored the Pirates 36-1 in that 3-game series, part of that sweep in Pittsburgh, and now 48-3 this year. The Brewers have outscored Pittsburgh. That is just insane. Those are crazy numbers for Major League ball clubs, one against the other. And Rock mentioned that long home winning streak against Pittsburgh, as Brendan Donnelly will take over for Dotel. Jody Garrett pinch hitting.
Donnelly, a former Anaheim Angel, or a Los Angeles Angel of Anaheim. Worked out of their bullpen for a few years. Didn't he have the goggles?
Yeah, he used to wear the sport goggles.
Now he's got the looks like the regular glasses.
Garrett getting a pinch hit at bat here in the 8th inning. Still just 1 out. The Brewers have 4 runs in here in the 8th. A 2 RBI double by Zahn, which ties a career high for RBIs. And a 2-run home run by Escobar. It's got to feel good for Escobar to get that donut off the board in the home run column. Jody Garrett sings one high in the air, deep to center, playable for McCutchen. Out number 2. Now, what's the grace period for Ken Macha and Alcides Escobar before Macha goes to Escobar and says, all right, don't try to hit home runs now?
Next at bat, if he starts uppercutting, get on over here, kid. It's not your job. I'll give him a couple at bats, but if he sees a trend, maybe trying to pull off the baseball, he's so good at staying on top and shooting the ball to the opposite field. Yeah, I think that Ken Macha will have a keen eye, as well as Dale Swaim, on his next couple at bats.
Escobar hit a home run last year, and Macha immediately went to him and said, and reminded, you're not a home run hitter yet. I think Escobar was hitless in his next 2 games after that. A lopsided score here in Milwaukee. This time the Brewers on the proper side of that scoreboard. After a rough weekend series against the Cubs, they wiped it away, and Dale Swaim has his club with 14 hits and 12 runs on the board.
Well, you lose 12-2 yesterday, and you've got a 12-2 lead today. That's baseball.
And what's the old line? You're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad.
Well, you're never as good as you think you are when things are going well. And you're never as bad as you think you are when things aren't going so well.
You're always good. Randy Wolf tomorrow. Wolf picking up a win in Pittsburgh last time around. He's 2-1 now. ERA of 3.70. The first of 3 left-handers for the Brewers. Wolf, Narveson, and Doug Davis. And Ricky Weeks draws the walk. So Wednesday, because the Bucks win, here's what it's going to look like. The Pirates and the Brewers, a matinee. 11:30 is airtime for Brewers Live. And then the Bucks and the Hawks on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Game 5, 6:30 for Bucks Live. That series all tied up. 2 apiece. The Bucks winning tonight, forcing at least a 6th game. And guaranteeing a return trip to Milwaukee. So a Bucks win, and they have a chance to advance at home. Gomez with a line drive base hit. "15 hits now for Milwaukee."
That fastball away, and Gomez able to stay back long enough, hook it into left. Feast or famine for the Brew Crew, wouldn't you say? Wow. Who'd have thunk it? 15 hits, 12 runs, and only 1 home run.
And the home run came from Escobar.
Right.
Here's Braun now, 9th batter of the inning. The Brewers sent 10 men to the plate in the 3rd.
I think Soup's coming in.
Hawkins was up. He was ready to pitch.
He sat down.
And Suppan continues to toss. Braun made 2 sparkling catches last inning. A diving catch and then an over-the-shoulder running catch toward the wall. He's 1 for 4 tonight with a walk. Ryan's really talking to himself between pitches. He struck out his last time up. And even in an 8-2 ball game, he was visibly upset. Slammed his bat, slammed his helmet.
He made 2 great catches.
The very next frame. You don't see him give up many at-bats, that's for sure. This is what he loves to do, is hit. Four runs in on 4 hits. 12-2 Brewers, 2 on, 2 out. And Braun takes ball 4. Donnelly can't find the strike zone, and the bases are loaded for Prince Fielder. Who could do a week's worth of damage with one swing.
And Joe Kerrigan on his way out to the mound. Never stop coaching no matter what the situation. Well, since Donnelly's come in, he's been able to get one out. A couple of walks and a base hit. 3 walks in the inning for the Pirates.
Well, here comes the cleanup man with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Got a big cut. Brewers have batted around twice. Scored 5 in the 3rd. Brought 10 men to the plate. Fielder, the 10th batter of the 8th inning. Fielder rips one to right, a base hit. Weeks will score. Gomez will be held. A base hit and an RBI for Prince Fielder. Gives him 8 for the season and his 3rd hit of the game.
Well, I think it was a closer game. Brad Fisher would have sent Carlos Gomez, but no need to push it in this situation. High fastball up and in. Watch Prince pop the hips open, keep the barrel of the bat in the hitting zone and rips it into right. Gomez thought he was going to score, but they held him.
Fielder has blistered 2 balls into right field tonight. All 3 of his hits have come to right. Been on base 4 times, has his first RBI of the game. And here's Casey McGee. He's the only regular without a hit in this game. Casey's 0 for 4. He did walk and score in the 2nd. And Casey McGee sends one high in the air to left. This one's way back there, and it is gone! Casey McGee! A grand slam home run! (17-2) on the McGee slam. His 5th home run of the year, gives him 18 RBIs. And a no-doubter off the bat from McGee.
That fastball up and in. We've talked about it all year, how good a fastball hitter Casey is. And he rides one out of here. Man alive.
The 11th batter of the inning. A grand slam home run, the 2nd of his career. Remember, last year's grand slam came here at Miller Park. That was the inning after he had dropped that pop-up. And he hit a big redemption grand slam a season ago. It's hard to figure.
It is. It really is.
17 runs on 17 hits. And it's been a 9-run 8th inning. After they scored 20 against the Pirates in their last meeting.
Just no figuring. It really isn't. It's just one of those things that is beyond explanation. What goes on when the Pirates are in this ballpark? And you know at this point it's in their head. It has to. It really does. Now, understand that a lot of the players that are out there tonight have not been around for those other 21 wins here at Miller Park.
In that series in Pittsburgh, the Brewers scored 8 runs in each of the first 2 games. An 8-1 win, then an 8-0 victory, and then it was the 20-0 game. Now 17 tonight, and 9 of those runs have come here in the 8th inning. So the Brewers currently have outscored the Pirates this year in 4 games, 53-3.
Don't you wish 10 of those runs might have scored yesterday? Day before? That's the thing about baseball, you know, we talked about it. You can't go up there trying to make an out when you have a huge lead. I mean, you go up there, every at bat is very important. No one single at bat, means more than the next over the course of the season. So you can't expect the Brewers to go up there and make outs.
Two and two to Hart, and that one's inside, ball 3. Well, we'll see how it presses forward for Casey McGee. He was the only starter without a hit. He had struck out his last 2 times up. And now he's going to walk away from this game feeling pretty good about himself after his 2nd career grand slam. Meanwhile, Brendan Donnelly is about ready to throw his 30th pitch. Between Dotel and Donnelly, 56 pitches. And he strikes out Corey Hart. The inning mercifully ends, but 9-run score on a Casey McGee grand slam to finish it out. To 2. McGee's first hit of the game, and it was one to remember. Jody Garrett will stay in and play left field for Braun. And Jeff Suppan is going to make his first appearance out of the bullpen for the Brewers.
Well, Suppan struggled in his first couple of starts this year. An ERA at about 8.5. The Lions score for the Brew Crew. A 9-run 8th inning.
12 batters came to the plate in the 8th. Suppan taken out of the rotation for Chris Narveson. Narveson will start Wednesday's matinee against the Pirates. And a line drive to left. That ball is fair and to the wall. Andy LaRoche into second with a leadoff double.
My last appearance out of the bullpen for Jeff Suppan was 0-3 in Boston. 11 appearances, 10 of them starts. Well, you can't really classify that as a time when he was a relief pitcher. What was that, back in '96 when he broke in?
Yeah. 95 was his first year. He just briefly in the big leagues that year as a 20-year-old. But his first relief appearance since '03. He split time that year between Pittsburgh and Boston. And his relief appearance came as a member of the Red Sox that year. That was his second tour in Boston.
I can only imagine what's going through Suppan's mind at this point. I mean, last year's opening day starter for Milwaukee, and now he's coming into relief in a 17-2 ball game.
That'll be a wild pitch. And LaRoche to third base.
It's got to be a tough pill to swallow for Soup. Breaking ball that probably should have been handled, but it was supposed to be on the outside corner.
Ball and a strike on Ryan Church. Slices it foul. Suppan in the final year of his contract. Made 2 starts, and it was a quick decision for Ken Maka. And Church cuts through and a strikeout for Suppan. So 1 gone.
That good slider from Suppan, down and in, and a very defensive swing. Or half swing.
Our Menards player of the game is Greg Zahn. Why not? A career night tonight. Matched a career high for runs batted in. He drove in 5. 4 hits and a walk tonight for Zahn. Fourth time in his career Zahn has driven in 5 in a game. Fielder makes a nice pickup. And he hits Suppan. Covered the bag. A run will score. But it's out number 2. Brents has had a good night defensively here tonight. And a reminder, on Wednesday, a big doubleheader of baseball and basketball. We got the Pirates and the Brewers on Fox Sports Wisconsin. That's at 11:30 Brewers Live, and then Bucks Live starts at 6:30. The Bucks and the Hawks game 5 from Atlanta. Series is tied at 2 now. (17-3) now, Brewers. Two and on the count on Billman. Popped him up. Foul territory. Casey McGee will make the catch, fittingly so. He wraps up the scoring with a grand slam, makes the catch to end the ball game and rock another one-sided affair against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. I mean, there's really no explaining what goes on in the Pirates Brewers series, but certainly dominated by Milwaukee. 53-4 in 4 games. The Brewers have outscored Pittsburgh.
17-3 the final. Brewers baseball returns tomorrow. Fox Sports Wisconsin, where the Brewers take on the Pirates, 6:30 is Brewers Live. Coming up next on WMLW, it's My Wife and Kids. For Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. The Brewers, a big winner here tonight at Miller Park. So long, everyone.